balls.
I also think we're not going to get many views tonight.
No, because we haven't got many cars.
If any.
Well, we're gonna get one, like me.
Sorry, there you go. There's two.
Yeah, we're like the screwed stream. There we go. Jamie's now just come online. Because all my PlayStation apps are on the tablet, so I can see it. So they don't come up on stream all the time, because you get that horrible black box, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you just love it when people come in with a Discord server with no other race, thinking, "Oh, I can race."
Right, classic.
Oh, Shane, because Matt asked me to go into the interviews, despite coming in P6. Shane was saying about driving for the Ferrari, and you just hear me go, "Don't do it." Don't do it. Oh, that's you as you now in YouTube chat. I hate spring. I hate Reaver.
Who's the Audi? Oh, that's Jamie.
That's Jamie. That's Jamie.
How could I forget?
Got a top on time.
I can't remember how long this fucking thing is. I'll just do it.
7 minutes, I think, the highlight video. Right, what was it Matt said? What we got to know? Gary's chance of his 25th pole. Bentley could score their 50th podium.
Hang on.
If Gary gets on a podium.
Weekly roundup. Gary 1 pole away from 25th. McLaren needs 3 more podiums to make it 100. Me need 2 poles to have most in the lead, but that's not going to happen. And Bentley to have 1. Alex has a qualifying ban for race 1.
Yeah.
We won't be.
And Bentley 1 podium away.
Yeah,
from 50.
there.
Could be possible with Gary saying this is wank.
I don't even know if the sound is working on the stream, is it? I don't fucking know.
I've got it muted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's working.
Alright. Cool. Everyone's going sideways, man. Well, I'm just mainly watching Nexus, to be fair.
Yeah, I did not enjoy the Ferrari around here. Was not pleasant.
The Lamborghini's good, I'm just not very good around here. Full stop.
I've got my chat on my laptop, the YouTube chat, my stream chat on the what's it called?
Yeah.
Tab. Yeah. Who started a party? I thought I disabled them.
Matt's just joined the party.
Has he?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely got a pro with Dan.
9.
At the moment, it's 8. So in the server at the moment. Yeah, we can talk about tour cars at the weekend then. But racing. Yeah, okay, Matt.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later. It sounds worse on the phone app than it does on the PlayStation. Oh, I don't know if you saw any of the Racing Unleashed, but his mic was cutting in and out there as well.
Oh, God. Just ridiculous, isn't it?
And it's a professional microphone. Oh, it's Brazil. I haven't even practiced for that.
Brazil's good, though. I'd rather be racing that than this.
Well, I've got a feeling we're not going to get the sign-ups for F2, so I may race F2.
No, just don't run it. If we're not going to get the sign-ups, just don't run it. Don't force people to drive it. It's just... what the fuck? You know? It's a waste of time. People just pull out left, right and centre. And it's just pointless.
Don't even know how many we got confirmed for F2.
Have we even got one up yet?
Hang on, I'm not looking. Someone's just like, go Smithy. Say go Smithy.
Errol. Errol. Oh, I fucking can't say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Errol. Used to race, I think.
Well, at least
Oh,
I
there
got
you
a
go.
bronze trophy in something. Third in the constructors on Pro-Am.
This is going to be the shittest night yet.
Trouble with end of the season as well, isn't it? What was I going to look at on my phone? I flipping forgot. But hold your 40s, Dan. When you forget what you're doing, and it gets worse.
Hang on, I just realised something. I'm in the wrong video.
Yeah, it is the right video. It's brand last week.
No, it don't matter. Like the... yeah, I know what I mean.
So, only final rounds.
Yeah, no. It's obviously, there's two screens on my computer, right? So one of them was the highlights, and the other one is the live stream. My live stream that I've made. Put 5 if Fury fucks up tonight and we lose championship.
But like, forget. I bet you hadn't listened to what I said. Like, choose tyre compounds like 35 and 40 for race 1, and like 45 and 50 for race 2, or something like that. Choose ones really late in the thing. Oh yeah, and I've already said for next season I'll be independent.
I might not be racing next season, full stop.
And there's a 12 on my engine. I'm bringing it back because I miss it.
Well, I look forward to listening to it.
Yeah, just unleashing the V12 again. And plus I've had another season to learn the game as well, haven't I? And it's easier to drive on controller than the Ferrari was.
The car isn't actually that bad once you get a nice setup on it.
Nah. Monza would be a beast. Ricardo would be a beast as well. good for the straights.
Yep.
And Daz has reclaimed today, I think. So he's going to be on wheel next season.
Nice.
So he's got to use a lot of the off season to get used to it.
Yeah.
Good job we've got some Project Cars 2 stuff coming in into it. Gary's now excellent pits.
I'm surprised he's not sent me a message yet.
What is it? Every race I end up looking at a back end of a McLaren. Brands Hatch, it was your dad's.
He won Happy Bunny last night.
I know he weren't.
He ain't coming back,
down
I'll
at the
tell you that
YouTube
now.
channels.
He ain't coming back, I'll tell you that now.
No, I didn't touch him.
I know you didn't, but he's lost interest for good. So... Fucking long ass night.
Yeah, 8 cars. Oh yeah, we got World Endurance this weekend at Spa. We could talk about that.
Baku as well.
We got back. Yeah. Oh, what? What place? You forget Baku. I hate that circuit. I still hate that circuit. What was it? My only podium this year was Spa, wasn't it? Because I had less penalties than Matt and Jamie.
Oh, don't. The whole penalty thing pisses me off as well. Everyone moaning about that.
Just do what I do, drive slower.
Well, just make sure you're in the track limits. Stop trying to abuse it.
Yeah, I got one for running wide and losing time. It's like, oh, well, don't care. Sod it. It's no different than Gran Turismo's penalties in sport mode, is it?
So we normally say Sutty, Euro, me, Overtaker. That's the other 4.
Brees. Apparently it's a national holiday in Holland, so they won't be racing at all. Anyone from Holland.
Nice.
Yeah. A national holiday on a Thursday? Can we have him? But then again though, we've got what? 4 days of national holidays in May, haven't we? We've got the first bank holiday this weekend. We've got the Friday and the Monday the following week for the coronation.
I was going to say, we can't complain. Right, we're going to go live in a minute.
Yep.
Actually, we'll wait for these tables to be done, because I don't know how long.
We've got 10 minutes of practice left anyway.
Yeah. So I'll do the lead, obviously. Right.
Yep.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport for the final round of the season here at Mazzano for the pros. My name's Dan Davis, also known as Unorthodox, and we will bring you, I just realised I'm on mute, I think. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. I was on mute when I didn't realise I was. But we are here live at Simplay Motorsport for the final round of the pro season here at Mazzano. And my name is Dan Davis, also known as Unorthodox, bringing you the final round of the season with my good friend PN Motorsport. PN, how are you doing this evening, Phil?
Not too bad. Yourself, Dan?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Bit more chilled in the comms box, a little less pressure, just to chill out and relax and watch some great racing. A little bit thin on the ground we are this evening, as you can see. Only 8 drivers in the session at the minute. We were expecting one more, but that will be it. But either way, we have got the final round this evening, PN, and it would have been a championship battle between myself and De Silva, but obviously due to the stream needing to be up and being commentated, I'm in the comments box with you, my friend. So pretty much, unless Overtaker can somehow magically get himself online while he's on holiday, De Silva has pretty much wrapped this up in the bag. But either way, there's still a very big fight going on the constructors, and like I said, with one of the drivers of each team not being able to race here tonight, it is down to the second drivers pretty much. All three of them going at it for the constructors between Jaeger Motorsport, FU Racing, and that will buff out Motorsport. PN, obviously 3 drivers who would love to take that constructors title. Gary running for Jaeger Motorsport. He's currently out on track in the Bentley. We've also got Fury running in the FU Lamborghini, and then obviously we got Empire with a lot of work to do, and that will buff out Motorsport. McLaren, this is really where the fight's going to be, isn't it, between the three constructors championship?
Yeah, a bit like last night with the fight for possible second place in the constructors there as well, between Tickle Pink, East West Motorsport and Audio Sport.
Yeah, but this is up for the main grabs. Obviously last night we saw AH Motorsport take the took the championship way back in Zolder, I believe it was. But either way, it's going to be a fight to the end between these three. And like I said, probably a lot for these guys to prove tonight. So we'll see what Emplava can do in the McLaren as we just get Monkey Boy into the session as well. Nice to see Phil in the chat. But before we get into the chat and before we get into anything else, PN, let's have a quick chat about Misano. We're here in Italy. Not to the famous Spain, not in the famous Monza, not in the famous tracks like that, but we're here in Misano, famously for MotoGP, if I'm correct. So a lot of the bikes race around here. I mean, you're more of the expert of racing than the bike racing than I am. So am I correct on that one?
I think a bike expert is Kieran Argent more. I normally mostly watch British superbikes. So.
Okay, so is Misano not in Britain then?
Weather's too nice to be in Britain.
Yeah, true. Especially the weather we had when we went to Donington Park. But either way, we're here in Misano. Between me and you, obviously, let's have a discussion about the circuit. What's your opinion on the circuit? Do you like it? Is it as a favourite of yours? What do you think is the trickiest part of the track? And what are these guys expecting here tonight? As we've only got a 9-car grid this evening.
But let's go with what I don't like about the track. All of it. I'm not a fan. It's too twisty for me. I like fast-flowing circuits like Spa, Monza, Silverstone.
Big open tracks, yeah. Too tight, too technical.
Yeah, I'm not a technical person. That's why I don't do very well at street circuits either. Hello, Monaco.
Wow, speaking of street circuits, F1 will be heading to Baku for the next round of their championship, but on our F1 we'll be heading to Brazil. In my case though, PN, I actually do quite like this circuit. I think it's something unique, it's something different, and a lot of people know that I do like a tight twisty circuit like Oschersleben and stuff like that, so to me this is heaven. Out of all the cars here, which do you think is probably suited best to this track?
Well, judging by practice at the moment, the McLaren. And
I think the McLaren is definitely suited around here. Needs a lot of downforce, but also I don't count out the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini around here, once hooked up, is a very fast car around here. But I think the likes of the Ferrari and the Audi are going to struggle, especially the Bentley. The Bentley, not the greatest car around here, so Gary's got a lot of work to do to hang on to his championship lead. Dad says it's a great track, but PN thinks otherwise.
Daz would say that because he was qualified on pole last night for race 1.
So while we're coming to the end of practice, let's have a quick running of the standings at the minute. Basically, your champion, because there's no one here to challenge him but the Overtaker, and he's on holiday. De Silva is your pro champion. He is currently 29 points ahead of Overtaker in second, with P3 being myself. Fourth is Matimovic. He's currently away doing work in Switzerland and commentating on another channel. So hope he's having a good time and enjoying the weather. Probably snowy, knowing Switzerland. Big boy Brazier in fifth, so he has an opportunity to get himself ahead of Matt and myself, but there's a lot of points to get to myself. He pretty much needs to have a perfect night to get up into third place position. Gary 131 in P6 with Fury in P7. P8 is Prava, and in ninth is Peaceful Explosion, so that's a tight fight between those two. No Euro this evening, but he's in P10. Smoky Devil can get closer to Euro. He's in P11 with no Breeze either in P12. Next is currently P13 with Sutty in 14th. 15th is Monkey Boy with Okabar in 16th. 17th is Biggs. 18th is Alex. 19th is Yorkshire Mika. And then down in 20th is Sekulovic, who's only appeared at a few races this season. Regarding the teams, this is what we're all watching and looking out for this evening. Jaeger Motorsport lead by 2 points ahead of FU Racing, and just behind them, 5 points behind FU Racing and 7 behind the leaders, is That Will Buff Out Racing in P3. Michael Massey's Mango Lassie currently in P4 with PRT Squadron Course is in P5. I believe that's De Silva's team. No, not sure who. Yeah,
it's either De Silva's or Euros. I should think it's De Silva's.
It is De Silva's, yeah. So it is De Silva's team, yep. Simplay Motorsport currently in P6 with Terminal Velocity Racing in P7 with the independent team of it's just independent. That's good, handy. Euro, that's in P8.
That could be good.
That is Euro. FST Racing is in P9. The Italian name for
poor Monkey Boys team.
Yeah, Monkey Boys team in P10. The Bentley Bullies in 11th. OMO Motorsport in 12th and Power Clang in 13th, and that is your championship standings at the minute. So it is down pretty much to Gary, Fury and Plava to bring back this Constructors Championship. Who is going to bring back the glory? Obviously, we go to you, PN. We look at the three drivers that are going to be their eyes on. Obviously, De Silva just has to turn up, finish, and he's champion. But regarding the Fury, Emplava, and Gary fight, who do you think is going to be the one to keep an eye on? Who's going to be the one to beat?
Well, I don't think this track suits the Bentley. So, but you can never count out Gary. But it's not a British track, so he might struggle a little. Empalava's always there or thereabouts, but without overtaking and pushing a bit. So it's probably going to be Fury in the Lambo if he doesn't puncture a tyre like he did last week.
Yeah, but it's definitely Fury. Fury obviously has got a lot on his shoulders, being the only Lamborghini here tonight. But Emplava has got the consistency. He can keep that McLaren relatively planted, so can Gary 131. It's all about who survives the first couple of laps around here, and if it was me, I'd be looking at Fury to be the one to beat. But anything can happen. You can trip over some other drivers. Who knows what could happen here tonight. As qualifying now starts, a 10-minute qualifying session for the guys. This is all making sure they get the right tyre pressures, get everything in the right window, so they are able to push right from the beginning. We'll start with obviously the qualifying here. PN, who is your money for pole position here tonight?
I hope Fury can nab pole, but it's hard to look past De Silva. Let's put the curse of the commentator on De Silva now, shall we?
I think De Silva's on pole. Like I said, all he has to do is finish this tonight, and he is champion. So we won't have to worry about too much of that. But he will obviously want to finish the season on a high and carry on the momentum into next season, which I'm pretty sure we'll see that McLaren once again. I'm going to have to go with you. I think it's De Silva's to lose. Fury, I think, has got a race pace. He's got the pace in him, but can he nail the lap? That is the question, as Monkey Boy is out on track as well. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. We currently got Dan Davis, Simplay Motorsport in there. We've got PM Motorsport, Ariel as well, saying go Smithy, but Smithy's not racing tonight. We've got Phil in the chat and saying, oh, looks like last night it's going to be spread out more, talking tonight. Daz saying evening all. We've also got good luck, Smokey and Gary from Phil. We've also got Holty saying evening lads, and Wolfinator as well saying evening all. As the pro-ams have a little bit of time to rest, it's now the pros to finish the season off as we go into qualifying, and we've got a couple races left of F1 as well, PN, as you sounding so excited and ready for it, as we've got Brazil and Abu Dhabi for the last 2 rounds of the season.
Brazil, I don't mind. Abu Dhabi, I wish it wasn't on the calendar.
It's a pretty dull track, isn't it? To be fair,
it is a very dull track. The only interesting thing is going under the hotel, or with all its pretty lights, or the pit exit, which is going to be interesting actually watching people exit the pits.
Definitely so, as we are currently on board with De Silva. He will be the first man to set a lap time in his chrome McLaren, the 55. Just hitting that curb there, didn't look too happy there, did it, PN?
It didn't in his Vodafone McLaren, because I think that's what he's gone for with his colour scheme. It is very Vodafone McLaren from the 2000s. Lewis Hamilton's first title, which he could end up losing because Massa's taken it to court because of the old crash gate.
Ah, well,
yeah.
We will see about that one. But right now, he is currently on a lap time. Did you hear any other rumours that's quite interesting to hear? Fernando Alonso might be dating a very, very famous pop star.
Oh, really? What, another one?
From the rumours I heard, Fernando Alonso is possibly dating Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know how much of this is true, but I've seen a lot about this on social media. So, Fernando Alonso has gone for a younger gal in Taylor Swift. So, interesting. But De Silva...
You could say it's his love story.
I'll trust me, there's been so many of these. As De Silva comes towards the line now, he will set the pace. He crosses the line and he does a 35.1. That is a good early pace setter. As Gary 131 now exits the final corner and Peaceful Explosion right behind him. Gary, he's 1.1 off the pace with Peaceful just behind him. And he's 2/10 off the back of De Silva. So actually some decent pace there from Mike there, as Fury is on a lap as well. So he will start his lap. Who's that in the final corner? That is Big Boy Brazier, who goes very wide, hits the curb. Towards the line he comes. The Audi driver, does he put a lap time together? I think he just invalidated it in the final corner. So already, PN, Mike in the Ferrari seems to have pace against De Silva at the minute. He's only 2/10 off the back of him.
I'm kind of hoping Mike's glad to see the back of a Ferrari like I am. No. It's not an easy car to learn. But towards the end of the season, I was getting used to it, but it's a bit late now.
Very late now, time's up, and time to find a new home, possibly, as Fury's currently on his lap time. And Plava towards the line, has he put a banker in? No, he hasn't. He's invalidated his lap time. Meanwhile, in the further end of the circuit, De Silva is on another lap. And that McLaren just looks planted, smooth and under control. The 55 coming into the final sector.
Currently on a valid lap. I believe Monkey's on a valid lap. Empalava is not on a valid lap anymore. He's got light blue on the mini-map.
De Silva's just improved. He does a 34.9 towards the line now as Gary 121. Any improvement from him? He finds a slight improvement and goes up ahead. Peaceful Exposure towards the line. No improvement. He will stay P2. Now we can see what the Lamborghini pace has got. Towards the line. Is he going fastest? Fury stays P4 with Smoky Devil, I think, crossing the line with no lap time for him. Big Boy Brazier, is he on a valid lap time? Towards the line. Here he comes. And he does put a lap time, which puts him a P3. Gary back into the pits to make a few adjustments and changes. Meanwhile, Monkey Boy is coming into the final sector, obviously deciding to get rid of his teammate and bail out of anything to do with Disco. He's in the red and black Ferrari as he now heads into the final sector. Now,
it looks, that's more of a matte red. I went for a metallic red. What I would have done if I was able to.
As Monkey Boy comes towards the line now, what is his lap time going to be? He goes at P6 with Emprava towards the line now. Still no lap time for him. So him, Nexus and Smokey all struggling to put a lap time on the board as Gary is coming out on track. His Mummy D in the chat saying evening PN, evening Dan. Of course, you can hear me from upstairs. De Silva into the final corner now. What can he do? Currently 4 tenths ahead of Peaceful Explosion, the closest man to him at the minute, and he comes towards the line. He improves even more, 34.4. So Peaceful's got to find 9 tenths from somewhere, and that's a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, Fury not really delivering the lap times we would have expected right now. Currently behind his championship rival, Gary 131. Peaceful, any improvement? No. Meanwhile, Fury towards the line.
Fury
only goes P4. Only P4 though.
Smokey's on an invalidated lap. Jamie's returning to the pit lane. All going very...
Well, testing the pit lane, because this pit lane's a bit tricky, this one. As who is the next one to come towards the line? It will be Plava, I believe, is on a lap time, so he will be next.
2 cars behind him are currently invalidated.
Oh, Dan now Plava's invalidated his lap time, so all 3 drivers are invalidated. The problem with this circuit, you do have to get it sweet and tidy around here to make sure you have that valid lap time underneath you. So once again, we look to De Silva as he is currently out on track, and he is in the middle sector, final sector now.
Very tricky that corner, coming from the straight into them corners to then brake for that hairpin.
It's a very tricky couple of corners right now, and De Silva towards the final corner. And he comes towards the line now. Does he improve on his lap time? He does find a 10th, so these guys need to find a little bit more. And it's all eyes on Mike and Fury, as they're the next closest to the line that are on a valid lap time. And right now, Fury's not delivering the pace that he needs to be delivering right now. As Peaceful comes towards the line, any improvement, he finds a 10th, but not enough to get near De Silva. Fury, meanwhile, towards the line. No improvement. He only stays P4. De Silva is done. He will not see him out of qualifying no longer. Can he hold on to that pole position? And meanwhile, who is on a lap time? Gary 131 and Plava are both in the middle sector.
Bentley just looks huge compared with McLaren and the Ferrari. Absolutely massive.
I just don't understand how it's so fast. I don't get it. It's big. It's heavy. It's yeah, it's an animal for sure.
Well, they don't run them now. They're no longer a current car in GT World Challenge, which had a 3-hour race at Monza last weekend, so I was watching both that and British Touring cars.
It's the 6-hour of Spa this weekend, isn't it?
For World Endurance Championship, yep.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that too.
Then Plava goes to P4. Gary, no improvement, and stays where he is, as we are joined into the commentary box by Kieran Argent. Argent, how are you doing this evening, buddy? I know obviously you just had a quick rush into the comms box, but welcome.
Yeah, not too bad, thanks for that. Yeah, just got in from wedding commitments, but as I say, looking forward to tonight's race.
It's a little bit bleak at the minute, mate. Only 9 cars out here at the minute. So right now, De Silva has pole position, 8 tenths over Peaceful, and right now no one else is on a decent lap time. Nexus towards the line. Has he finally put a valid lap time? He does. He only goes P7 though, as Big Boy Brazier crosses the line, and he will be done. He will start P3 as it stands.
Smokey had a qualifying ban.
Fury only qualifies P5, split by Plava and Gary, which, like we said, the constructors is all still to play for, and Plava and Gary still got a lap time underneath them.
We do now have our bike expert who know more about Mazzano than any of us.
I'll do my best. It's one of my bucket list tracks to go to at some point, whether it being for bike and 4 cars. But as I say, I've known about this track for a lot longer than probably you two combined.
Well, there's a truck racing game on the PlayStation that's also in here. How do they race 7-8 ton trucks around here?
I honestly didn't know that. As I say, I've only really known it as a bike track, because until about 10 years ago, it used to go in the other direction.
Well, just news got in as we finished the qualifying session. De Silva on pole position with Peaceful in second. Emplava managed to jump Big Boy Brazier and goes to P3 with Big Boy Brazier now starting fourth. Fury will start fifth. Gary will start sixth. Seventh will be Nexus. Eighth will be Monkey Boy. And Smoky Devil are bringing up the rear. Ignore the number 9 Lamborghini because that's not here. But it is De Silva on pole position. And at the minute, Gary still looking for that pole position that I think will never ever come. He just needs one pole to get on 25. Boys, obviously we're about to go into a half an hour race between 9 cars. This is it's going to be spread out quite quick even for a half an hour race. What are we expecting from these guys?
I've not seen enough of the session to know who's quick and who's not. I'm still trying to get into the lobby, but I'll let PN answer that one.
Well, Peaceful sort of some pace, but he's nowhere near De Silva, unfortunately. So it has to be De Silva. De Silva's making it look easy tonight.
He is indeed. His 3 main rivals obviously not here this evening, with Overtaker, Matahimovic and Unorthodox not able to race here this evening, so it is pretty much just a parade lap for himself. But either way, it is decent points for all these boys, and like I said, it's all down to this constructors fight between those 3 teams. It is Overtakers and Emplavas that will buff out Motorsport between Unorthodoxes and Furies, FU Racing and Matihimovic's, Gary 131's Jaeger Motorsport. So they're all going to be wanting to make sure they don't trip over one another and try and score as many points. But strike 1 has already gone to the way of Emplava, as we're about to get racing in a second. And it is McLaren on pole position once again. Bentley are going to have to wait a little bit longer for another pole position, as will Ferrari, but the McLarens have been dominating this season in both not Pro, but in Pro-Am as well. They've been quite quick as well with Wolfinator. As we are about to get away for the penultimate round of the season, round 19, as we head towards the start-finish line. Only 9 cars, but it could be a dramatic race here. De Silva's on pole, and we are green here. And you can see there, De Silva's already gone into the lead with Peaceful in second, and Fury and Emplava going at it with Gary 131 going around the outside of Fury. We'll have the inside for the next corner as they head into turn 3 and 4, as Fury still trying to hold it strong, but he's got Nexus breathing down his neck. Monkey Boy is in the scrap as well, with Smoky Devil not too far behind either. But Gary has made the jump on Fury, and he will stay in front of the Lamborghini driver. So relatively clean so far for the first couple of laps for these guys, as Jamie has jumped Emplava and is now onto the back of Peaceful Explosion as they now head in towards the middle sector.
Touch wood, that's the cleanest pro start I've seen all season.
And so far so good for these guys, as Fury currently right on the back of Gary 131 but can't do nothing about it. And right now,
this phase of the race, Jamie's looking a little bit quicker than Peaceful.
he is indeed. Peaceful probably having the best opportunity he can to try and get himself on the podium and possibly a race win. But right now, De Silva just pulling away. Nexus, meanwhile, is trying to attack Fury, but Fury doing a lot of weaving down the back straight, possibly struggling with tyre temperature. But Emplava, Big Boy Brazier and Peaceful all battling it out for P2, as Emplava really wants to prove something to Overtaker and see, look, I can do this, I can race with the big boys and score some decent points. As right now, it is De Silva with a healthy gap already, 1.1 ahead of Peaceful as they go into the final corner.
There's a comment in chat from Nexus saying the car feels like the 2014 Ferrari F14T. Yeah, that car was a handful. How Alonso pulled some of him results in that car. Hard to say. And evening to Kelly in chat.
Yes, evening to Audio Sport, as Fury now looking to the inside of Gary 131 into turn 4, and Fury gets that done, but can he get the car stopped as Gary gets right on the back bumper of the Lamborghini. Meanwhile, the Audi of Nexus is right behind him. He's going to have to be careful of the curves, as Fury has cleared one of his rivals. But Gary is the one who is going to be the one in trouble here. That Bentley really does struggle around here, as we've seen to have dropped Monkey Boy and Smoky Devil off the back of the pack already.
Yeah, I'm not sure of an incident coming into the last few corners, when the decreasing corners you go to the braking zone. I think a few cars were getting in close proximity there.
But right now we are looking towards Big Boy Brazier. He's now trying to defend from the Lamborghini of Fury. Emperor really needs to start extending that gap to the cars behind him so he can have that advantage. He's the one who's a little bit behind in points. He's 7 behind Jaeger Motorsport and only 5 behind the FU boys. So he really needs to start extending that gap and try and outscore them as much as he can and try and get onto the back of Peaceful Explosion. But meanwhile, De Silva going into the final corner has got it smooth and under control.
Wide. Carry up inside of Fury into last time.
Oh, it was close. It may have been a little bit of rubbing.
Fury's car looking a little bit loose at the minute, looking like the car does not want to grip up, and Gary right now sitting right on the back. Nexus is now thinking of attacking the Bentley and goes down the inside of the Bentley, but can't quite get the job done. But he's going to go around the outside of turn 3, and the Audi looks like it's got the legs, but can he outbrake the Bentley? Possibly not, because the Bentley has such better brakes than the Audi.
Meanwhile, it's like a little battle brewing between Monkey Boy and Smoky Devil for the... It's Nexus Airways. He's trying to rival Fury Airways.
Nexus looking for any opportunity to find his way past Gary at 131, but can't seem to find the way through. So Gary hangs on to a little bit longer on. Meanwhile, De Silva just extending his gap, 2.1 over Peaceful Explosion. Emplava sitting in 3rd, Big Boy Brazier in 4th, Fury in 5th. Gary 131 currently sitting in 6th with Nexus in 7th. 8th is Monkey Boy, and bringing up the rear is Smoky Devil. So these two having a great little scrap at the back. Smoky Devil right on the back wing of Monkey Boy as they head towards the middle sector, and this sector is where all these cars seem to be struggling under braking. As there we go, Monkey Boy has been hit by Smoky Devil. Into the wall he goes, and Smoky Devil there possibly gaining an advantage by tapping the car around, and Monkey Boy losing out.
There's quite a lot of damage on the side of that Ferrari as well.
James Bravier's wide. I'm not sure if he crawled near last night. I'm not sure how much track limits are around here, but a few cars running over the curve.
They are very harsh, and now the pit window has opened.
Oh, Nexus had a moment through turn 1. Just heard the car lock up and squeal as it was sliding, and that Ferrari is coming back out of it right now. So Nexus not looking very comfortable at the minute. And again, all the cars have just spread out a little bit. It's N Plava who's the man on the move and trying to find a way through. It's like all-star comms box. It is. We've got myself, we got the Constructors Champion of Argent in AH Motorsport, and we've also got, obviously, the lovely PN Motorsport, who is always a pleasure to have in the comms box.
Always a pleasure.
This is where the party's at, boys, isn't it? We don't want to be out on track. There's not a lot going on. We just want to be in the party.
There's more people in the comms box than there is on track.
Yeah, we're having a mini disco in here. We're talking about all sorts: endurance racing, F1, even bikes. I know very little about bikes, so that's kind of Argent's domain, as we're here in Mazzano. And like I said, I'm pretty sure MotoGP run around here. Was I correct?
Yeah, it would be the home circuit of one Valentino Rossi.
Ah, who's actually running the Audi in what's
BMW
the
now.
BMW now.
Oh, BMW. He did run the Audi, didn't he?
Yeah, Audi last season.
See, if the M4 was in the version of this game, on the PS4 version, you'd see the M4 quite a lot, as a lot of the drivers like it. As Big Boy Brazier once again goes very wide, and I think a couple more times he keeps doing that, he's going to get a drive-through penalty. But either way, it's still Jamie trying to find a way past Arne and Plava, but these guys just seem to struggle to be able to follow one another. Obviously, the way the circuit's designed, Arjun, obviously you know more about it than we do. The way this track is designed is obviously the corners are very open for bikes. It's very much designed for bikes, and their turning circles, obviously they don't turn as well as a race car, but
what I've said earlier on, and Fury as well. Until about, I think, 10 years ago, it used to run in the opposite direction, so it got reprofiled in places to help it run in this direction. For the MotoGP coming back to this circuit, it was previously World Superbikes until 2005, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then it stopped, and then obviously, I don't know what happened with the circuit, whether it went through financial difficulty or what, but then, 10 years ago, MotoGP brought it back.
As Monkey Boy is our first pit caller, I'm not surprised with the damage he's got to the side of that Ferrari.
definitely. So, and like I said, it's just there doesn't seem to be a lot going on at this stage of the race, as Fury is trying to get onto the back of Big Boy Brazier, but can't seem to do so at the minute. Nexus has lost a lot of time to Gary 131. I think he's still struggling with that Ferrari, even though it's an actual Audi. He calls it a Ferrari. So Jamie has peeled into the pits, as Peaceful's also in the pits as well. So the early pit stoppers from these guys. Well, we got a little bit of quiet racing going on at the minute. I feel like there's going to be a lot of that, as Nexus has gone all over the shop.
Smoking Devil just been disqualified
for driving the wrong direction on track. Well done, Smokey. Well done.
So we are now down to 8. Obviously, this season, guys, is coming to an end, and obviously we've all been in our own different categories. Let's talk about F1. Let's talk about, obviously, ACC. This is our first time racing here at ACC. How have we found it? What do you think we've learned from this season? Obviously, let's talk about the format. We feel like the format hasn't really worked for this season. I feel like the hour race is probably too long. What would you guys prefer to see in the new season? And I want to hear from the guys as well. If you're a driver listening right now, what would you like to see for the new season? But coming to you guys, what worked, what didn't work? We'll start with you, Pierre.
I think the hour race is a bit long, especially when you got a few medical issues. Myself, Welshie, and a few others. Wouldn't mind it like being 45-minute race or for the main race, and like keep the half an hour race or something. But
Fair enough.
ACT's an okay game. The PS5 version's better, but
we can't afford a full PS5 though, can we?
Not everyone's got a PS5 yet, so we have to make do with a PS4.
No, sadly not. The silver crosses line. He starts another lap here. 20 minutes left to go. It's going to be a long night, boys. Long night. But luckily, we have plenty to discuss. Arjun, coming to you. Obviously, we just had PN's opinions on this. What's your opinions on how we've done this first ACC season, and what would you want to see different? What have you liked? What have you haven't liked? So on and so forth.
Talking over the game itself, grown on me a lot over the last few weeks or so. I wasn't a fan at the start, probably like yourself.
Oh, very wide. Sorry about that, Argent De Silva taking a very wide line there. But obviously he knows all, and Plava's just done the same thing. Will Fury do the same thing? Those sausage curbs on the exit are quite lethal, aren't they? They can send the car off flying. But go on, Argent. Carry on what you were saying as De Silva rudely butted in.
As I say, the game's grown on me. Like, obviously, probably something to discuss with the other admins at the end of the season in terms of format, but I think at times the hour has been too long, especially when there's a difference in class. Maybe for the pros it's fine because everyone's at a similar level, but you know, when you're in Pro-Am, and it's especially in the races that I've won this season, I've started at the back of the grid. We're joining the session late, but by lap 3 or 4 I'm at the front, so you know, try and make it fairer for the guys that haven't got the speed compared to the front runners, maybe. I don't know how you do it, whether you introduce a second pit stop for the top 5, I don't know.
Yeah. Daz in the chat says, move to the GT series to a Sunday instead of F1. I'm assuming that's because
his
more free time.
Working. That's his work, because he works.
I don't know, something we could discuss, maybe. A whole day of racing. Maybe we could have Pro-Am in the afternoon and Pro in the evening. Who knows? Something that can be.
You're never going to please everyone, I think.
No, you're never going to please. But obviously, with a Sunday, especially majority of us being a British lot, we tend to have a bit more time on the Sundays. As Fury is now into the pits, so far not a lot has really changed. Big Boy Brazier is still behind Peaceful. Or ditch F1 and have an endurance, as 2 hours would be great. For me, I'm on the fence with Gary. Well, I'd say on the fence. I was going to say like Gary, but Gary's he hates this game. He doesn't like this game, and I'm kind of more on the side of Gary. Like, for me, this game, although it's fantastic in what it's done, it's a great sim racer. It's beautifully designed. It sounds amazing. The cars look great, but I just feel it's just not like the all-round package that we'd expected. It's very limited on tracks, it's very limited on cars, and I just think as well, for a streaming point of view, it's not very good. It's very poor regarding the streaming, but that's just my opinion. Obviously I know for a fact that the PC and the PS5 versions are better, But we're living in an age where most of us in the UK are struggling with money and with the living crisis that's going on at the minute. Like you said, some of us can't afford a PS5 or can't afford a PC. So trying to afford a league that can race in this, it's just not really doable. But as Fury comes back out of the pits, he stays ahead of Gary 131, but he's still behind Big Boy Brazier and Plava's now into the pits. But I feel like we've learned a lot and agree with you guys. I think the hour race is too long, not even just for Pro-Am, but for Pro. You do still see the same guys coming from the back of the pack and they're back to the front within half the race. So I think, if anything, we need a 3-race format where it would be 3 half-an-hour races, a bit like the British touring cars. But either way, I think, like I said, don't get me wrong, this game...
Back to the similar formats of previous seasons, when you had the 2 half-hour races, maybe. Right?
Yeah, either way. But obviously, with next season as well, we're looking obviously introducing weather and time, different time zones. So we're talking about different temperatures and stuff like that. So that could be something that really spices up this game even more. But until then, we're going to have to deal with what we've got. But either way, I've not disliked this season. I've quite enjoyed it. But I do feel like ACC, although it's such a good game and such an advanced game at that, I do think it needs a lot more work done to it for a streaming and a show perspective. But that's just my opinion on that.
I think if you could have Project Cars 2 streaming with this gameplay, it would be a no-brainer. But effectively, you can't have both.
As we do... De Silva is in the pits, and Plava's come out still ahead of Peaceful with quite a decent gap over him. Actually, Plava's jumped Peaceful in the pits, so Peaceful's must have had a dodgy session part of the outlap then, and Plava's jumped him. So more points for that'll buff out racing boys, which will get them closer to the guys in front. Obviously, I believe, Argent, you were going to be doing the tables, or would you like me to do it?
I can get my computer up and running if necessary, even if you've got one there open.
Yeah, I've got it open, but I end up messing it up, so I think it's just easier for you to do it. So we'll have Argent keeping us a constant update of the constructors' standings, because that's, like I said, the main show. De Silva, even if he finishes tonight in this first race, he will be crowned champion no matter what happens. There's no overtaker, no unorthodox, and there's no Matahimovic to challenge him, so he is pretty much a champion as it stands. But obviously we go back to this season. Obviously you guys have been here or thereabouts in the pros, but obviously you've had your moments in Pro-Am. For you guys, what's been like the moment of the season, you know, and obviously the low moments as well? Obviously we'll come to you, PN. I can tell you straight away, I already know what your low of the season is, and that's driving a Ferrari, for starters. I know the Aston Martin might make a return, and boy, I'm looking to hear it. Imagine if we can get the Aston Martin and the Maserati together. That'd be fantastic. I think I might actually make a mess in my trousers. But
maybe for the 2.4 hour race at Spa, if we do it, that we could have the V12 and the Maserati on at the same time.
We can see which one's louder. But obviously, we'll go to you first. What's been your highlight for your season? And your low for your season, and then the same for the pro. What stuck out for you for the pros, and so on and so forth?
Oh, great battles with Kelly. Oh, I'll admit, they were great. Though I was sick of the sight about McLaren. I really am. And then had a look at Leon's at Mazzano. It's just finishing where I finished, really. It's just consistent mid-pack.
Yeah, good point scoring this season.
Not bad for someone with a dodgy back and leg and everything like that.
Not bad at all. And obviously, we'll talk about the pro now. The pro, what's been your highlight for the pros? What's stuck into your mind? Obviously, I know for a fact that I think one might be De Silva at Monza, where he overtook Fury in turn 1. But what else in the pros really shown?
De Silva in general has impressed me. He's come in from SimGrid, and he's been clean, he's been consistent, he doesn't really put a wheel wrong, and the only time he's been in the steward's box is because somebody else hit him. And It's just the consistency. That's what wins championships. Being
does
quick
indeed.
helps as well.
It does indeed. Look at Colin Turkington. I believe he's 5 times touring car champion. Is it 5 or 4? I think 4 times. And it was all just due for points. Look at Alain Prost, 4-time world champion. They called him the Professor just due to the fact of him calculating every single thing he did and made sure he scored every single point. I was just about to say Nexus is leading this race, but he's now coming to the pit. So De Silva will retain the lead ahead of Emplava. It is a McLaren 1-2 at the minute. Argent, we come to you, and Kelly says in the chat, I can trust to race you at PN. Obviously, Arjun, we come to you. Obviously, a highlight has got to be this season that you won the Constructors with Holty. And then, like Matt says, every time that you win a Constructor, your teammate always ends up winning the Drivers' Championship as well.
I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Oh, De Silva's had a moment. I say he was having it smooth and consistent, but he's just had a bit of a brown pants moment. And Palava gets a little. Yeah.
He thought he had a bike trying to wheelie.
We're not on bikes just yet, boys. We're still in the GT3 cars, but obviously, like I said, your Constructors' Championship has got to be a highlight. But what else as well? And obviously, you've seen a bit of the pros. What have you seen from these guys that's impressed you?
Yeah, the highlight's got to be for me rather. I think 2 or 3 wins this season in the main hour race, just purely where I've kept it out of trouble, where teammate and others have been involved in incidents. Obviously, Constructors to top it all off. It happens again, you know, winning a Constructor but still not winning the title.
Yeah.
On a personal level, but you know, one day maybe. Just need to stop picking decent teammates, hey?
One day you will have your glory.
I like the challenge.
So
yeah, do you want to drive a title?
Well, no, I think the other way round. But the important question: do you like V12 engines?
I'll give it a go. I'm not sure what I'm doing next season because I've got a lot of upcoming stuff with weddings on a weekday evenings, which are pre-booked in. But as I say, if I can do it, I will. I'll give anything a go. I feel like I've gelled with the McLaren, with the Bentley really well. But
Yeah, but
this game was new to me. It's only really a car I've driven, so.
the Aston's got another 4 cylinders on top of the Bentley. 4 cylinders.
Does it go round corners?
It does, actually.
I'll tell you what goes around corners, the Lamborghini, but it does it in a really weird way, I'll tell you that. As we now come past the 10-minute mark already, time's flying by, we've already been discussing some great things already. Arjun, obviously, the Pro-Am's been very exciting between Holty and Shane, and obviously with yourself and the boys in the Pink and Stink boys. Regarding the Pro, though, obviously the few times that you have been here commentating, what's really caught your eye in the Pro? What's been the moment of the season for you?
I think the fact that cars in the Pro are able to battle that much better at times, like with Fade to Silver around the outside at Monza.
Oh, and Palava's just done a wheelie. Sorry, he's now doing his best motorbike impression, and Peaceful is now onto the back of him, and Big Boy Brazier is not a million miles behind him either. Sorry about that, as Palava does a wheelie. Just so we're trying to get to what you're trying to say, Arjun. These guys are just getting a little bit exciting.
After 10 minutes always happens. That's towards the end of the race. But yeah, like, just the fact the Pro guys, especially like this, proving exactly that they can get close proximity to one another and just not make contact. You know, as the season's gone on, I think driving standards got better and better. Especially with the front runners, like including yourself, Matt, and also Overtaker at times.
Yeah, definitely so. As Callie in the chat says, me and you team up, Kieran. Surely one of us could take the Pro-Am title. That could be an interesting pairing, to be fair. Kelly and Arjun in one team.
Fair, Kelly, we've not hit each other this evening. It didn't happen this year.
That could be a spicy one.
No, I lie. It happened at Monza when you ran out of fuel in the last lap.
Should have pushed him across the line.
Would you be willing to give up the forever forward name forever and be in an Audio Sport McLaren or Bentley? Could we see Kelly in a Bentley? Could we see?
You could change. You could have it forever Audio Sport, couldn't you? You could merge the two as such.
Forever Audio Sport. I like that. I like that indeed.
Audio Sport forever.
Contracts have already been negotiating, and we haven't even got 6 weeks into this summer. Meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier is caught right onto the back of Peaceful Explosion as he now come up to the hairpin.
Coming to Quercia corner.
Meanwhile, Peaceful is trying to bump and push Emplava out of the way, and Emplava just seems to be holding these two up at the minute as we're coming down to the last 7 minutes. Fury nowhere in sight to really hamper these boys at the minute.
I think N's got a little bit of damage from
inside of Peaceful.
That was a great little switch back there from Jamie. He planned that out very, very well, and I got to know Jamie quite well at Donington Park, and he's a very interesting character. I give him that.
Can you put a tent up though, Dan?
No. I think his camping days are done. But meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier moves up into P3, so that was a good move from him. Peaceful dropping out of the top 3 now, but there's all still to play for as Emplava's just ahead of these guys. But Emplava's got it cushy at the minute. He's ahead of his 2 rivals, of Fury and Gary, and is going his way forever. Audiosport says Audiosport in the chat, aka Callie Davis, aka KLF 900, and he says he likes it. Now we just need to confirm a car. Oh, we might already have our first team here, lads.
I wouldn't want to upset Smithy. I know Smithy's enjoyed this season. Whether he's going back, I don't know.
Oh, Peaceful's a lot on the curb, and the car became unstable there. As now Big Boy Brazier is now looking to pressurise the McLaren of Emplava. This Audi didn't look very good as he's now diving down the inside. He is. And
lost it. Ed lost it beforehand.
So N has dropped it, and he's gone back behind Peaceful, but more importantly, he is ahead of Fury and Gary 131. That is the key thing. Gary is way off the pace at the minute, as is Fury. But Peaceful is not giving up on Big Boy Brazier, but Peaceful's back into the top 3.
Looking back at Jamie as well.
He is. I've given him flash of the lights as well, so he's taking a matte trick here and just doing a bit of a flashy.
It's the touring car tactic. We all know it.
It don't work though. It don't work. Let's be honest.
When you don't look in your rearview mirror, people flash on you.
There's a rearview mirror. I think I got rid of mine, so I didn't have to look in it. But guys, obviously, we've all driven very different cars. Obviously, the Bentley, you driven Argent, took it to a constructor's title. Pierre, you drove the Ferrari, and I drove the Lamborghini. 3 very, I was going to say very different, but obviously the Ferrari and Lamborghini are very similar. Smithy can run Team Audiosport. Kelly really wants the constructors and a drivers champion, I think.
Kelly just wants the title after previous history, I think.
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, 3 very different cars, very unique in how they design. The Lamborghini and Audi are very similar because it is basically the same car. But obviously we got very fond and very, I say fond, I say that PN detests his Ferrari. We got so used to these cars. Would there be any opportunity of new cars for the new season? Would any of us be brave enough to go something new or try something that others are driven? For example, if I were to run next season, I'm looking at possibly running a completely different car. I'm not loving the Lamborghini anymore. I feel like it's too twitchy, so I might be looking at 2 other cars that I could possibly race. I will be openly saying that it will be the Lexus or the McLaren 650S, not the 720. But regarding you two, is Argent, I feel like you're the man who's more likely going to stick to what he knows and stick with the Bentley, because it seems like a car that you've done it for seasons with the Mercedes on Project Cars. Is it going to be the similar story with the Bentley? It's very stable, very your type of car.
If I don't have to change, I won't, but obviously I'm happy to give other cars a go. It's a new game. I've not driven anything else, so you know, I might find a car that suits me a bit better. I'm not too sure, but you know.
Is there anything out there that tickles your fancy at the minute, or is it kind of see what comes up really?
What comes up really? I'm not sure what obviously I've not been on Discord. I've lost access to the admin chat, so I don't know what's been decided in terms of teams or not teams. I don't know.
We're looking at possibly running, so it will be open, so you can choose to be in a team, or you can run to be an independent, but also the teams, by the sounds of things, from what I've heard, you can run different manufactured cars, but as long as they're the same colour, or same colour style. So, for example, if you and Kelly wanted to race and he wanted to go McLaren, and you wanted to go Bentley, as long as your Bentley was white, green and black, then you could run the Bentley.
Yeah.
So
I've just seemed to I've lost access to the admin chat on the Discord, so I don't know what's been said and what have you, but I'll hopefully get that back on Discord shortly. I don't know why it's gone, but yeah. Because I know we normally have the end of season chats at the end in regards to the upcoming season as people flash his lights again.
He's right on the back of Big Boy Brazy. He's going to go running outside. That's a bold move.
Running outside of Toronto.
That's brave.
Doesn't quite work though.
He's got time though. I say he's got time. He's got less pressure because he ain't got Emplava breathing down his necks, and he's just got Big Boy Brazier ahead of him. So really, right now that Ferrari looking like it's a little bit better shape than Big Boy's Audi, but maybe now Big Boy used to seeing a car in front of him, he was able to just mind his braking points, judge where he needed to turn and do all that. So Peaceful takes a lot of curb there and the car became unsettled. But right now these two both on to a chance of winning, being on a podium. Meanwhile, your race leader starts his penultimate lap. De Silva has disappeared into the distance. He's currently 11 seconds ahead of Big Boy Brazy, who's crossed line with Peaceful breathing down his neck for P2 and 3. And Plava currently P4 with Fury down in P5. Gary currently in P6. 7th is Nexus. 8th is Monkey Boy. And Smoky Devil has been disqualified from the race. But right now, I think at the minute, it's going to level out the constructors at this rate.
I think looking at the P4 Big Boy Brazy battle, it looks like Jamie's actually holding up P4 at certain corners. Like people get from much better run out the corner, whether that's Jamie's driving or whether that's the actual car.
Probably the wheel is aiding Peaceful around here, especially in certain corners. He's able to have more steering angle, able to put more steering input rather than Jamie on the pad. A fun fact for the guys who are watching, Big Boy Brazier, yes, he runs on the controller, but he also stands up when he races. So yeah, he's a very, very tall lad from what I discovered at Donington Park, and I would not want to be standing for neck end of 3 hours doing a race, to be honest.
He does the same in F1 as well.
As Kelly in the chat says, why the 650, Dan? Because I feel like it's going to be reunited with an old friend, basically. There's a colour scheme on it that a lot of people might recognise, and a car that possibly gave me my most difficult championship yet. But
it also looks nicer.
It does look nicer than this Humper Junk, but this Humper Junk is leading the way, and it is going to take De Silva to his very first championship. What a drive from this guy. Obviously, guys, we'll talk about De Silva now while the scrap between Peaceful and Jamie rages on. But De Silva he's come out of nowhere from Simplay. He's obviously always Peaceful looks to the inside of Big Boy Brazier going into turn 4 as he's not able to quite get the job done. But Jamie goes a bit wide, but you're able to do so. So Peaceful can't find a way through at the minute. He is good, but he gets a wiggle on exit. But that's going to hold off for a minute. But De Silva, he's came from nowhere. He's joined the Sim Grid. He's joined Simplay Motorsport. And he's just come here and absolutely ripped it up. First couple of rounds, he was a little bit off the pace, trying to get his feet on what was going on here. But ever since then, he has been on an absolute winning streak and been the man to beat for this season. What can we say about this man? And I had a couple of blows with him at Paul Ricard. I kind of was hot-headed and blamed him for something that was actually my fault. But other than that, I have not had a single bad race with this guy. He is super clean, he's very consistent, and he's very, very fast. And I think as well, guys, a very, very worthy champion. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd say, he's been the standout driver this season, as of Overtaker and Matt and yourself over previous years, or previous seasons rather. So.
As he exits the final corner, De Silva comes towards the line, not just to finish the race, but he also wins the championship. He is your pro champion, as Big Boy Brazier will now come into the final corner. He will take home a P2 with Peaceful Explosion, getting himself on the podium. P2 and 3 for those guys. Emplava takes the first strike in the Constructors fight. He is P4. Fury is going to come home for P5 for FU Racing, as Monkey Boy crosses the line in P8, and Gary 131 will finish in 6th place position, and Nexus will bring up the rear. But guys, let's talk about De Silva again. What a champion. It goes down to the Constructors fight now. He will pretty much be champion here today, as we'll probably get the tables updated as soon as...
laptop now, if I can enter it. for you all.
We'll get that update just so I can definitely confirm that he is champion. But guys, we will be back in a moment's time. We'll be going to a quick advert, but we will see you on the other side. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at Simplay Motorsport. But we go to the final race of the season. De Silva takes the first race win. Top 5 cannot qualify, so De Silva, Big Boy Brazier, Peaceful Explosion, Emplava and Fury all can't qualify. Gary, Nexus, Monkey Boy and Mr. Smoky Devil will be able to. We shall see you in a moment's time.
Well, I'll just pick the top 5 can't qualify in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least Jamie and Mike kept it interesting for the half hour. Hello, Jamie.
Evening.
Peaceful Explosion has managed to get himself on the podium.
Took 19 fucking races.
And half the grid not to turn up.
Yeah, 19 races and half the grid not to turn up. Boom, I'm getting there.
Are you in a party with Fury?
Yeah.
You are?
I'm just struggling.
Is he pissed off?
Yeah, he was getting irate because you could tell he was just struggling with the setup. He just went as though he. To be fair, I struggled then. I didn't feel as comfortable.
The track did not feel nice whatsoever.
Right, I need a quick wee. It is kind of bleak. All we've been doing is chatting complete and utter shit.
Yeah, I listened to the stream. You've been doing pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know why no one turned up. Is it a Simply drive?
Yeah, you just had mine, Mike's and Plava's battle.
Well, Overtaker's on holiday. Matt's working. Don't know where Alex in Yorkshire is. Sutty's got shift. I don't know really. I've chose not to race, so
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, we get why you've chose. If Matt was racing, then you'd have raced, or if Overtaker was racing, you'd have raced. But I think it's nice that your guys, your 3 teams, made it fair to try and say, "Oh, it's on you boys. Let's see who can fucking come out."
Yeah, I did my
but
best
also, it's to be honest, De Silva's just sodded off into the distance. You know.
I did try my best to.
You can race with him as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a quick wee a minute.
Yeah,
I
I'm
did
going
try
for
my
another
best to
wave.
push Plava wide with Fury.
Oh, God, gotta get up. Help.
Yeah, I thought that was a good. I thought that was a good dive bomb on. Well, it wasn't even really a dive bomb. On Plava.
No, you were side by side. I think he thought you'd have kept it a bit tighter, but you gave him the car's width, from my view. So
25.6.3. Yeah, go with that. I didn't even realise how much fuel I used in that race. I was too busy. Looking behind.
But no, alright, Ray, we had a good battle, me, you and Plava, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, right, I'm just going to go get another drink, and I'll be back in a minute.
Nip for a wee.
Oh, I'm back. Smokey disqualified. I bet you Jamie's glad to Steve back of him as a teammate. Oh. race 2 conversation.
What are we going to talk about this time, lads?
Favourite racing game of all time?
I think we should talk about Jamie trying to put a tent up.
I can't believe Smoke. What did Smokey get disqualified for?
Driving
the wrong way.
direction. Aren't you glad he's no longer going to be your teammate, Jamie?
Come on, laptop, you shitty thing.
I'll do it, don't worry. I'll do it
That's
for
right.
this one.
I'll do it if just, I think an old laptop that's just taken forever and a day to load up.
I can do this one. We can do the
Yeah, I'll
Where was-
keep it open for the
yeah, for the hour
main
race. Where was Gary in that race? I can't remember.
Gary was
5th? No,
Sixth.
6th.
Sixth. Fury was 5th.
Yep.
Fourth. Jamie,
Mike
you were
first.
2nd, weren't you? Smoky Devil was 9th.
Also,
Yes, ninth.
I think we need to make perfectly clear, obviously on the film grid, if when drivers sign up, they're signing up for a season, they're not signing up just for one race.
Yeah.
The amount of people you see coming in, I'm racing this one, and it's like, no, it's a league, it's not just one off.
Monkey Boy was 8th, wasn't he?
Yeah.
7th was Nexus. And De Silva was another win to his name.
The silver dominance.
Yep. He
Gary
wins.
says, what's that done to the constructors?
Find out.
Everyone's probably on equal points, aren't they?
Jaeger is on 586. FU Racing is on 586. That will buff out Racing is 3 points behind. Me and Fury and Matt and Gary are level on points.
Oh, it all comes to this.
What's that about for
Winner
racing?
takes all, basically.
They're only 3 points behind.
For 5, 8, 3. And what was you saying about you three?
There's 3
Emplar
points.
was 3 points behind.
While Jaeger and FU are on the same points.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
He'll be on a fucking mission. He's just said to me, he went, are you in a party? With anyone? I said, yeah, the normal one. I said, with Fury and Monkey. I said, me and Jamie are just in the comms box. And he thought, I think I'll stay out of Fury's party for the last race.
He needs to be re-added to them all anyway, Gary does. Because he quit them all, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
I'll invite him to it. I thought he was, he's in the normal one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We're in the normal one.
He's in the normal one because
We said
he was in it
said,
after
oh yeah,
he
we'll
goes in
go,
after
we'll
the
go
race.
into our other one. Then Plummer said, oh, can I come in as well? I've got no team in. I said, oh, Fury might as well come in.
Well,
And,
Well,
and then we
technically,
thought, well,
Jamie doesn't have a teammate either as well.
We all just went, well, if we're all going to change party, we're the only ones in this one, we may as well just fucking stay where we are.
For fuck's sake, man.
Matt and chat just went, come on, Gary, you got this.
Has Matt seen the chat? Has Matt on the table? I can't.
I don't know. He's probably listening to my stream.
Or mine.
Oh, you're still live, I take it.
So that was good, that means I've pulled away from Plava, done it in the...
Matt's in here.
Matt
Matt is in
the
it.
table.
Yeah.
I said earlier, Dan, that I see a nice hill on the back street for Gary to sit on.
It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what even if Gary hangs in there, I will still rub it in their face and say it's not a true championship, and then they'll be like, "Well, why not?" It was like I was told to be hampered and leave. I could have raced, and you wouldn't have been champion. Full stop.
Yeah, but
Well, technically, Dan, if you drove the last 5 minutes,
I could, yeah. I would just roll around for a lap, and that's it.
rock up, yeah, for the last lap. Matt will look and think, you dickhead.
In the
If Fury's struggling that much, I just load in. Done.
in the drivers.
Oh, Smokey! Was
Right.
that Jamie?
We are coming to the end of qualifying. I messaged De Silva earlier and I was like, I won't be racing, blah, blah, blah. He was like, it's a shame that it's ended like this, where three of the four is not racing. But either way, that's how every champion seems to win at Simplay.
I don't know what's going wrong with my setup, but I've just realised my left front bump and my right front bump are different by
Whoops.
1. Right, I've been running it, I'm not fucking changing it now. Look, I'll change that and I'll be fucked.
Can I still catch you, Dan, or not?
What?
Can I catch you in the standings or
I
not?
don't think so. You need to basically no.
No.
There are 24 points left, so
Yeah, you could get me.
But I need
But you need to
I
win.
probably need to
You need to
so-
win. Yeah.
You'll be what? Is it 10 points in front of someone who finishes last?
Oh shit! In that case, then I'm loading in. I don't give a fuck. It's only a game at the end of the day.
You can always say you don't count for the constructors to keep them happy.
Yeah, I was saying, Jamie, don't count me. I didn't do 3 races.
Don't load in, you prick. Because that means I've got less chance of getting third again.
I ain't racing. I just load in. I'm there, classified. I went out, did a lap, went back in.
No, you've got to finish the race.
Yeah, I did the last lap.
And you've got the race. No, don't count.
What do you class? 50% of the race?
No, you've got a race.
Yeah, 50% of it.
Yeah.
Alright, about half an hour then I'll jump in and then you guys got like several
you'll
laps
jump
on
in
me.
as you're all mid-corner and lag us the fuck out.
yeah. So if Jamie wins the race, he beats Dan by a point.
Right.
Quality.
Okay, we will transition now, so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh god, Matt's put it all wrong. That's not good. Hang on 2 seconds, we will have the right stream. Your channel, that one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. We have got 2 of the top 3 in. I can't talk. What's been going on here? PN, you need to take over. We got 2 of the top 3 in with us, and 2 drivers who it's been a while since they've been in the on the podium here tonight. And we'll start with the P3 man, and that is a man who's definitely been not in here for a while. It's Peaceful Explosion. Mike, mate, how was that race for you, and how nice it is to hear you back in the podium box?
Yeah, it was good. We had a good battle with Plava and Jamie, to be honest. It's only took 19 races and half the grid not to turn up. So,
Hey.
yeah, good.
A P3 is a P3, isn't it? You know,
Exactly.
every point
To win it,
counts.
you got to be in it.
You have got to be in it to win it. Obviously, final race of the season. We're here at Mazzano. How has the track been for you? Have you enjoyed it? And how's the Ferrari feeling around here?
Yes, other than practice sessions, I've never, until we hit this game, I've never seen this circuit because I don't really watch Superbike. So yeah, it was new to me. But no, I quite like it. It's quite a nice flowing track. There is a few bits that can catch you out though if you hit your brake and that's like wrong.
Yeah. Well, going into this race, you are currently 20 points behind M. Plava, who, even if he finishes, will pretty much outscore you anyway. Simplay Racing are quite a way off the back of PRT squad course, which is De Silva. So really, it's just more of a go out and try and get another podium, a race win for you for this one.
Yeah, pretty much. Just try and have another decent race and just try and finish on a bit more of a high. What we do next season is that's to be tested.
The big question is, Ferrari, are you sticking with it?
Not definitely no. I'm going to test. I like the car. It's an option because I've got it set up to a degree, so I know what I'm doing with it, but I've got to test with it.
Well, either way, mate, congratulations on the P3. Nice to hear you back in the podium once again, and good luck for the final race here this evening.
Cheers.
As we now go to your P2 man, and it is Big Boy Brazier, aka the tent man, the camping man himself, who struggles to put a tent up in Donington Park. Jamie, a great little scrap between yourself and Mike there, Peaceful Explosion, and a solid P2 for yourself for here at Mazzano in the Audi.
Yeah, it was a good race between Mike and Plava. So clean and fair. And yeah, so it's good to get my best result of the season as well. It's just a shame that there's only 9 people here for me to get a P2.
Yeah, it is a shame. Obviously, there's not a lot of cars on the grid. The goal for you, though, is to try and catch Matimovic and myself in the points. You will be able to beat both of us, but it's going to take a lot of work. You're going to have basically a race win out of this one to beat the pair of us. Is that the goal now for this one? Obviously, as well, yourself and Smoky Devil quite off the fight between the constructors. It is now just to try and beat myself and Matt now, isn't it?
Yeah, so if I can get a race win, then happy days. But I don't think I'm gonna have the pace of De Silva. He seems quite strong, but not as strong as I've seen him at other tracks. I think he's taken it a little bit easier this week because yourself and Overtaker and Matt aren't here. But yeah, hopefully he gets stuck behind a bit of traffic, and I might be able to get up the field. But I'm starting at the back, so that's not brilliant.
I was going to say, what traffic? There isn't no traffic here at the minute.
Yeah.
Either way, though, mate, same question to you. Obviously, we were talking about Mike being in a Ferrari. Obviously, the Audi you've driven this season. You're very fond of the Audi. You've driven it in Project Cars. You've driven it here on ACC. Will you be staying in it for possibly next season?
Probably not, no.
So already we've got 2 drivers who are not happy with their cars, and possibly another 2 here in the comms box. Any idea what you might be looking at for next season, or is it still hush-hush?
Still hush-hush. You have to come back and see it the first round next season.
Well, we'd be very...
teammate, Jamie.
Ooh, I don't know. It depends. I had to have a look about.
Well, contract's being decided. We know that Kelly and Argent are teaming up, so either way, mate, look forward to this final race for yourself in the Audi, and we shall hopefully see you a little bit later on, but congratulations on the P2 on tonight, mate.
Cheers, guys.
No worries, and we will now turn to you guys, and first things first, before we get into anything else that's going on, I would like to formally declare De Silva, who is currently sitting in the pits right now. He is officially, now we've done the tables, he is now the official drivers champion here at the Pro, and no one can catch him now. There's no one here who is able to do it. So guys, it is now official. De Silva is your Pro champion for our first season here on ACC. So a massive congratulations to him. But more importantly, guys, this is the big one. Constructors. Jaeger Motorsport and FU Racing both on 586 points. Enplava with that buff out racing is behind by 3. This is it between the constructors. Who is going to come out on top? Obviously, the advantage goes the way of Gary now in the Jaeger Motorsport Bentley. He will be at the minute at the front of the grid, and he's currently on pole position. Emplava and Fury will be starting together, but they've got to clear Peaceful and De Silva, and also possibly Smoky Devil as well. But oh yeah, and the Monkey Boy as well. So there's a lot of cars for those 2 to clear, but Gary will start pretty much at the front of the grid. Here and now, who has got this title? Who do you think is going to have it? Which constructors is going to come on top?
It's got to be close. Two could be a part of VW Audi group.
Obviously, I can't say nothing because obviously one of my drivers is go for it. Obviously, you know who I'm going to be rooting for. But like you said, 2 Volkswagen cars at the minute, Bentley and Lamborghini versus McLaren.
Oh, the McLaren is a stronger car here. And proved that by coming 4th in race 1. It's got to be tight. It will be tight.
You got to pick one.
It's going to be tight. I think Emplava. I think if he can put a car between Fury and Gary, it could make things interesting.
But if Gary get pole, that's another point, isn't it?
It is another. That is another point to the Jaeger Motorsport boys, as I forgot to do that actually as well.
Take pole off Gary.
So Nexus takes it away. Gary is still on a lap as well. We've been on Gary for a while. Let's go on Monkey Boy. He's currently out on track. You guys still haven't answered the question. One team. Argent, who's it going to be?
I've said Emplava. As that be...
That'll buff out racing. He's gone that way. And for you, PN?
Oh, if Fury can knit it together, F you.
So obviously...
Not very nice.
That's
not
why
nice
it's named
at all.
that team.
It is why it's named that team. How did you know that? I don't know how to. There isn't a poll for qualifying, is there not? I don't see where you can put one in. So I don't think there has been.
Now, with a minute left to go. It's not a bit late to do one now.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. The poll would have gone to De Silva.
Just in the chat, who the people in the chat who they think's going to come out on top out of 3.
We're currently 11 at the minute. People watching. I should probably log into the Simplay one because that's the one that does all the fancy jiggy mid-jigs things. I can't talk now.
Oh, Smokey's lost it.
Has he got a lap time on the board? Not yet. No. So he needs to hurry up and get one on there so he can finish ahead of the guys ahead. But at the minute, he's going to be starting at the back with Jamie, and he's gone to the pit, so he is done. Right, let's do one of these. Let's do a poll.
I hate to interrupt you, Dan, but that Bozzy boy in chat, it's back to on Bozzy laptop. Come on, Jaeger.
Of course, he was going to say that. I have no doubt he was going to say that anyway. So let's get this up there. So we have FU Racing, we have Jaeger Motorsport. I think a lot of drivers that if either one of the drivers don't come out on top, I think the other teammate will not be happy. I'm not too fussed. So if Fury, go out and do your best, mate. That's all I'm saying. But I think Matt and Gary might split after the season. Who knows? But there will be a poll out now.
Enjoying the game and the car, I'm not too sure, but
he's not a lover of ACC. He really is not.
And like I said, guys, massive congratulations to De Silva, who is your Pro Season champion. Like I said, no real threat with him this evening, with his main rivals not being able to drive. But either way, he's still a very, very worthy champion.
And Nexus gets his first, I believe it's his first pole position here at Simplay.
I believe it.
What he said earlier, the Ferrari F14.
As we've got a couple of votes out already, 4 votes going the way so far. 2 to FU Racing. Jaeger Motorsport has just gone up now into 60%. Now 5 votes. Guys, get your votes in on who you think will be the team champions here at Misano. But more importantly, guys, the final race of this season. We've got 9 cars. We got a lovely, beautiful Italian circuit. Who is going to be your race to winner? There's an hour-long race. It's going to be a long, long race. But hour to go. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I don't think you can look past De Silva after his 15-second gap in race 1. Mm-hmm. But it all depends on how this first lap goes, with the slower cars being in front of the quicker cars.
It will indeed. Guys, come on, get your votes in. There's currently no votes for That'll Buff Out Racing. That's a bit depressing for those guys. And it's going either one the way of FU and Jaeger. Currently FU now leading with 4 votes to Jaeger's 3. It's going to be interesting for just the teams. As I think that is Nexus in the chat. My setup is finally good, so he's taken some time and he's managed to set that car up.
And it's Matt on Bozzy's laptop.
Oh, nice.
And Matt did say me and Gary for life.
10 seconds.
That's really right out.
Put anything past Bozzy, to be fair. Even if it was, it wouldn't be surprised.
So obviously, Argent, you said De Silva. PN, who are you going for? De Silva as well?
I'm going to go for De Silva because he's just rapid anywhere all season.
I'm going to have an outside bet. I reckon Gary's going to win it. I don't want him to win it, but I reckon he will. as Nexus will lead the final race of the season. Only 9 cars here tonight. Pretty poor showing from the Pro. But either way, we will finish the season with the Audi on pole position, with the Bentley on the front row. Nexus versus Gary, who's going to come out on top. We go racing. FU Racing versus Jaeger Motorsport versus That Will Buff Out Racing. And already, De Silva has cleared a few cars already and up into P4. And already, Fury has gone round. Fury's facing the wrong way. He has collected peaceful.
We have a peaceful pirouette.
We do have a peaceful pirouette, and Gary now leads this race quite. Sorry, doesn't. Nexus still leading, as Gary is leading the race for the teams, as he is now in second, while Enplav. Oh, Monkey Boy! That was a very twitchy moment there, as De Silva goes down the inside of him and up towards the hairpin he goes. He's already into P3, as Emplava is P5. Fury, meanwhile, is well at the back of the pack, with Peaceful Explosion with him.
Not what you wanted to do on opening lap, leave it down.
I'm not fussed. I'm chill. I don't mind. Like I said, these boys have. It's very easy to make a mistake with only 9 cars here, so it's only a game at the end of the day, as Nexus leads the way, as Fury's already cleared Smoky Devil, but Gary is trying to find a way on Nexus. De Silva working on Gary, Monkey Boy and Emplava follow behind, with Big Boy Brazier in 6th, Fury in 7th, 8th is Smoky Devil, and 9th will be Peaceful Explosion, as Nexus enters the final sector. An hour to go, and we've already had drama. So already, guys, as Nexus enters the final corner, and a lot of work for Fury to do now. He's cleared 1 car. Gary has had a move, so here comes De Silva. And De Silva already looking to try and get to a race win here. Fury in P7 has got to try and catch Big Boy Brazier, who had more pace than him, as did Emplava, but they've got to clear Monkey Boy. And Fury has already got a lot of work to do.
He's also got quite a bit of damage along his right-hand side of the Lamborghini as well.
It's definitely not what he wanted to do at the start of this race at all. I feel like I got to sneeze something, so hang on a sec.
The feel of doing wheelies.
I'm currently keeping an eye on. Well, Fury's now pulling away from Smoky Panda with a fist. So next closest battle is Empalava and Monkey Boy.
Oh, Gary's had a wiggle. Gary's had a wiggle. Yeah, Gary's had a wiggle. Yeah, Empalava has passed Monkey Boy. Sorry, I really got a sneeze just sitting there, but it's not coming out. But Silva getting a switch on Gary, not quite far enough alongside. Monkey Boy has a twitch in the background, so the Bentley's still hanging in there, but it is the Ferrari of Nexus that leads the way with quite a healthy gap, as De Silva's still looking for an opportunity to get past Gary at 131. That McLaren hooked right up as they head towards the final sector now.
Braking heavily for the hairpin.
We've currently got 10 votes at the minute. They've gone split between Fury, FU Racing and Jaeger Motorsport, and at the minute Gary is doing the business, with Emplava in P4 minding his own business, and Fury with a lot of work to do, but pit stops could help him out later on in this race. Meanwhile, Nexus is extending his gap between Gary over 1.6 seconds, but De Silva is hassling the back of that Bentley. And guys, I don't know if you guys have ever raced Gary 131. I know, Argent, you have in the past. Gary's a formidable threat. He's very difficult to overtake, and he will fight as hard as he has to, but he's very clean as well. So this could be a tasty fight between Gary 131 and De Silva.
Question is his wheel mounted on this island board again?
If he wins this Constructors, I'll be amazed if it isn't, because that's how he won a championship on the iron borders. De Silva's going to go around the outside of Gary. That was a bold move. You're not going to catch Gary out that way. No, he's run a little bit wide, a little bit understeer, but Gary's a lot more turned on than that, and he is not going to be caught out by that. As meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier now passes Emplava. A nice easy move down the inside, as Fury now is on the works of Emplava. So, still Jaeger Motorsport leading the way, with FU Racing trailing behind, with That'll Buff Out Racing in 3rd at the minute as it stands. So Fury's got a lot of work. Peaceful is only now just caught onto the back of Smokey, so Peaceful must be suffering with a little bit of damage himself.
It could be a spicy little battle between Smokey and Peaceful. They've had a few incidents in the past during the season.
They have indeed. Meanwhile, we go back to Gary. He's actually brought that gap down to Nexus, as Gary has a wiggle on the final corner, and that's just opened. Yeah, that's opened the door for De Silva to have a look down towards turn 1. He looks to the inside. Oh, and he can't quite get there. Gary's just managed to give him a car's width, a McLaren's car's width, but only just. And De Silva goes around the outside of turn 3. Is that going to then lead it to turn 4? Gary is on the better line, and De Silva's got a long way to go, and he can't find his way through there. De Silva giving the respect and space that Gary deserves. But while this is all happening, Nexus is disappearing. Oh, De Silva's bouncing all over the place. This is allowing Big Boy Brazier and Emplava to come back into the frame, as is Fury.
Interesting line by De Silva into that hairpin. It's gone onto the green AstroTurf a little bit, or green painted tarmac.
Is that to maybe trying to get a better run now in the Bentley's got the kick out the corners, maybe?
As Nexus, it is Ferrari versus an Audi, but it could be actually a Ferrari underneath, we don't know. Comfortable 2-second lead currently as Davy and De Silva battle. And Jamie is bringing Emplava and Fury with him. Because Fury's right on the back of Emplava.
Yeah, we're currently on board with Fury at this minute. He is right on the back wing of Emplava.
Can't knock off wings in this game.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. I nearly lost mine at Zolder, but we're not going to get into that one. As we see there, De Silva has a good run on Gary 131, but once again he's on the wrong side of the circuit, but he will be for turn 2 on the correct side. He's going to try and squeeze Gary to the inside. It's the opposite way around this time. De Silva has the inside, but Gary, bold as you like, goes around the outside and keeps the job done. And Gary 131 still hanging in for that second place position, but De Silva's down the inside. This is going to be the move, if anything. So De Silva will have the inside. Is he going to hold it strong there? As Gary 131 is just there, but he's going to try and hold it as now De Silva runs wide. But he will get the job done, but he had to pass off track.
You not get passed off track for me, you have to give that back.
But Jamie down the inside of Gary. Jamie's in on this as well.
He is on it. Did he just give the Bentley a little bit of a tap? But meanwhile, Gary's come back at De Silva. Hey, we're talking about an hour-long races are going to be long. This is already a good scrap right now. Gary is fighting for everything to keep every single point in this championship. As he goes around the outside of De Silva, he has a wiggle. But De Silva now finally clears the Bentley. But while he's done that, he's dragged the Audi with him. And Big Boy Brazier is right on the back wing of Gary 131 and looking for an opportunity. Meanwhile, Fury's right on the back of Emplava in the background, trying to go around the outside, but can't get the job done. Fury trying everything. Gary is wide, but he managed to get it turned in. And Big Boy Brazier, right now, he's in the court between the team's championship right now, and he needs a race win to beat myself and Matahimovic. So
you've already beaten Matt as it is, but I'd say for you, it would be beat yourself, it would be a win, but I think you've only 7 points behind Matt prior to the race going ahead, so
yes, that is true.
He's guaranteed
He's guaranteed P4. He just needs to get a race win to guarantee himself a P3. So Nexus still 2.3. He's not really losing much time to De Silva at the minute. De Silva obviously finally clearing Gary. He's now got plenty of time to start working through, but Gary is the cork in the bottle, as he's got Big Boy Brazier, Emplava and Fury all breathing down his neck. And two of them he has to mainly worry about. Jamie is up the inside. Will Gary just let him go, or does he want to keep those two cars between him? Jamie's right there, and Gary has a wiggle as he keeps his foot pinned. The Bentley really is struggling as Jamie just touches Gary there. A little bit of a squeeze there from Jamie. As Gary still trying to hang in there as best as he possibly can, but he's got two. And Jamie has got for the switch. That's a nice corner to get a switch back around here, isn't it? It's quite easy to do so, as Big Boy Brazier is still breathing down his neck, as Peaceful has cleared Monkey Boy and Smoky Devil. So while these lot are too busy scrapping with one another, maybe he can get himself onto the back of these lot.
Yeah, the natural line around that corner is to take a later apex, which will makes the door up the inside rather open.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's, you know, to take the natural line, get the run on the straight, you want to be wide and square it off, but you become a bit vulnerable in it.
The gap to the leaders has come down to 1.7, so De Silva is now starting to push a little bit harder. Gary still trying everything he can to stay in front. Now Emplava's attacking Big Boy Brazier. He's looking to the outside, and he can't quite get the job done there. Meanwhile, Fury then attacks Emplava. So as soon as you go from the attacker, you then become the defender. Fury's the only one who doesn't have to defend, but he's just taking his time, waiting for the prime opportunity to try and pounce on Emplava. Gary, meanwhile, is still... This is the Bentley train that we're in right now. Choo-choo, everybody get on. Peaceful working on his way to get to the back of it, but Gary 131 once again showing why he is a two-time champ around here at Simplay Motorsport, and he is holding back the likes of Big Boy Brazier, Emplava and Fury, who none of them have won a pro championship. They've all won well, two of them won a Pro-Am, and Emplava was the runner-up in Pro-Am to Matahimovic. So Gary really is the man of the champions of this one, as Jamie seems to have a great run out of the hairpin, but still he hasn't got the grunt that the Bentley has.
Bentley is a bit of a grunt machine.
That's one thing I've noticed if even driving the Bentley, it does get the kick out the corners, especially against the likes of the McLaren and the Ferrari at times. Plava's wide.
Fury just lunged it, and Fury's lost the rear end.
A little bit of a nudge there from Emplava. Is a little bit optimistic there from Fury. Out of nowhere, he just dives down the inside and catches Emplava out of surprise there. But that's now dropped them off the back of Gary and Jamie. So Jamie now can focus on trying to clear Gary without this squabble affecting them at the minute. But Emplava and Fury at the minute are losing out to Gary, and they need to hurry up and get this Audi out of their way and focus on Gary, because he is doing everything he needs to do, but he's gone wide. But Jamie still can't find a way through.
Lead gap is 0.7 of a second.
It is a 0.7, so there is De Silva, he's right on the back. Meanwhile, Jamie looked like he had Gary, then Gary's had a wiggle. Emplava is off, so Jamie's cleared Gary. Fury's cleared Emplava. It is now Jaeger Motorsport, FU Racing, both equal on points. Who is going to come out on top? Meanwhile, De Silva is attacking Nexus for the race lead, as Nexus now enters the final corner, and he goes... middle corner. Meanwhile, Nexus is about to be under pressure from De Silva. In the background, we've got Big Boy Brazier, Gary 131 going at it, and you can see there...
race for third place.
As you can see here, Big Boy Brazier is in head of Gary 131. Fury's not quite close enough, but Gary's in this awkward situation that he needs to clear Big Boy Brazier. And he looks to the inside, he's got the opportunity, and he will go down the inside, and hopefully he will split himself between him and Fury. But Jamie, with the better exit out the corner, he hangs in there. Fury, like a little puppy, biting at Gary's ankles, wanting to get through, as Gary has a slight wiggle, and Fury now right on the back of Gary. Meanwhile, De Silva is still trying to find his way past Nexus. Quick thing about Nexus, he had a slide. He will be joining me in the commentary box on Sunday night, so he'll be joining us for F1 as he goes down the inside of De Silva. It goes up another place, and a race lead for him, as Nexus will now settle down into second place. As hopefully, if De Silva has got the stream on, I hope he can join us in the comments box so we can have a quick chat with him about his season, but I very much doubt it. But De Silva now leads this race ahead of Nexus. Big Boy Brazier still got Gary and Fury breathing down the net. Fury's looking to the inside, but thinks better of it. Not quite close enough. He's got a bit of damage to the side of that Lamborghini, but he has got a good run out of the hairpin. Is he going to look to the inside, or he's going to go to the outside? But right now...
Emplava's got peaceful explosion. And must have damaged the underfloor.
Will there contact between Fury and Emplava coming into the turn 4? I think it's turn 4-5.
Not sure.
Can't see from where
I've... Peaceful.
Go on.
Peaceful is looking to get past Emplava.
Yeah, Emplava seems to be struggling at the minute. There's something not right with his car. He just doesn't seem to have the pace that he did earlier on. And right now, Gary and Fury are doing the job that they need to do. Right now, Gary is the one that's doing all the hard work, and Fury is right on the back of Gary.
Meanwhile, having a quiet race, Monkey Boy and Smoky Devil's done more laps this type of race than he did last race without getting disqualified.
Fury has a wiggle all on his own there, trying to find a way around Gary, but Gary's Bentley is humongous. That'll be tricky for him to get through. Big Boy Brazier now needs to focus on catching on Nexus and De Silva so he could get P3. But at this rate, I don't think he's going to get that done at the minute. Just De Silva has got the pace.
Peaceful's got past Empalava.
And Fury's now looking down the inside of Gary, 131 into the hairpin. And Fury hits the back of him. And he now moves up a place, but Gary will not be too impressed by that one.
And remember to leave a like, subscribe, if you enjoy your sim racing. New season in 6 weeks' time, where there will be some fun races after a week's break.
There will be indeed, as Peaceful Explosion has also cleared Emplava, so we've missed that one.
Can Jamie hunt down Nexus and catch him? They're not teammates. Don't be fooled because they're both driving Audis. Just Jamie drives on Michael Massey's Mango Lassie.
What a stupid name. What a stupid name. I'm sorry, but...
It is very stupid name, not gonna lie.
What a stupid name. Either way, Nexus is actually keeping De Silva honest at the minute. He's just within that 2-second gap, so he's definitely sorted that setup out. As we will try and get Nexus in the party as well, because obviously he'll be joining me in the comms box on Sunday night, where we'll be heading to the next round of the F1 Championship, the penultimate round at Brazil. Make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah. Brazil, can Ferrari keep their point tour going? No, actually, don't know how many people are confirmed yet for the F1 on Sunday.
I'll see if I'm available. I'll see if I can go further than turn 1 this week.
As I'll have a quick look, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers currently confirmed to not racing.
Both McLarens not on the grid.
No, that is a shame to hear. But right now, Fury has cleared Gary, now starting to extend his gap, as he's now trying to catch Big Boy Brazier, who's gone a little bit wide. And Nexus just minding his own business, as Peaceful still has Emplava breathing down his neck, as they're both catching Gary 131, who just seems to be struggling in the Bentley at the minute. It just doesn't seem to have the raw pace that everybody else has at the minute. But knowing Gary, he can pull something out of the bag out of nowhere. And he is on his way. Let's have obviously, guys, a few of us went to the British Touring Cars. That's why we didn't have no F1 last week. The touring cars is something a lot of us here at Simplay Motorsport do enjoy. With the wet conditions that throwed, we saw that Nicholas Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton's younger brother, went on and took a 6th place, his best ever result in British touring cars. And I just want to get you guys' opinions on that, because I believe he has a condition of cerebral palsy, I believe.
Palsy,
which for him is such a challenge for him to just not obviously just drive a car, but let alone race one as well. So in those conditions where it started off dry, he looked at the wet conditions and thought, I'm putting the wets on. He goes to put the wets on and goes on and gets his best result ever in touring cars. So a massive moment for Nicholas Hamilton there, and a big shout out to him for that one. But guys, I don't know if you saw it on TV, but that was an epic race from him.
Yeah, I've not seen it, but to be honest, I've from my catch up to watch. But yeah, we've all following the bike racing of quite a lot of it last week, as well as being out at London Marathon. So,
oh, don't remind me of that. That definitely affected my drive home. Ugh. Yeah, but a lot going on. But PN, obviously, I know for a fact you did watch the touring cars, but what a call from the team, though, wasn't it? It was just, let's go on to wets.
Was it a call from the team, or was it a call from Lewis in the Griff stands?
I would say there was probably a Hamilton, a Nicholas choice. I think if anything, it was Nick who came up with the decision what to do. He seems like a safe bet kind of guy. Probably be safer to go with the wets than be struggling on the dries. So I think it was probably a Nicholas decision rather than a Lewis decision. As Peaceful is still running all over the back of Gary, as Matt says in the chat. Gary does look like he is struggling. Meanwhile, Emplava is looking to the outside of Peaceful, and while this is all going off, Fury has disappeared up into the distance, and he's got Big Boy Brazier ahead of him. Pit lane is now open, boys, as these guys can come in now, as Smokey and Monkey Boy just running at the back at the pack at the minute. De Silva already 6.7 ahead of Nexus, who's got a healthy gap over the rest of the pack. So we're now getting into the part where it starts to just string out a little bit.
Closest battle is Gary, Peaceful, and Palava currently. But Fury looked like he is slowly winding in Jamie.
He is indeed slowly catching Jamie. If he can have a car between him and Big Boy Brazier, that would be great for the FU Racing lads.
I think
Right now.
if he was tied on Gary prior to the race, so if Emplava that needs the car between the other two.
Yeah, but it's that extra buffer for Fury, innit? If he has a car between him and Gary, there's nothing that Gary could do then. He has to clear another car before he even gets near him, as Gary's opting to pit.
Did he get it slowed down in time? It looked rather quick.
Oh, and Plava just ploughed the wall, though. So where Gary last week out, he goes and hits the pit wall and comes to a complete stop in the race one. He manages to avoid the pit wall this time, but instead it's Emplava who hits the pit wall, and that's going to cost him more damage to repair as well. Jamie's extending the gap to Fury a little bit. How much damage has Fury got, we reckon? Obviously, he's taken a whack at the start of the race. Smoky Devils into the pits as well. So how much damage do you reckon that Lamborghini has?
He's got a good 3 or 4 seconds worth of damage on that car, judging by the side. From lap 1, turn 1, usual shenanigans. We had a nice clean start previous race. Well, for the last race of the season, but all goes out the window. It's a bit like race 3 in touring cars.
Always like that. As Jamie actually has been catching Nexus ever so slightly now, so Jamie is on the prow of Nexus.
Gary's been dropped, but he's not going anywhere. He's now.
It takes a few seconds for the car to get moving, because obviously you have to switch the car back on, switch the ignition on, all that rubbish. But right now, Nexus, very side. That's it. Drive-through penalty for Nexus. He's done for that one. He'll have to serve his drive-through, and that's how strict the track limits are around here, as Emplava is now done in the pits. Gary's already out. Gary's got a 30-second stop and go for speeding in the pit lane. Matt is going to be... He is not going to be happy as Nexus comes in, Fury comes in, but Nexus is going to have to either serve his pit stop or serve the drive-through now. Boys, if you're in this situation, which would you do first? Would you get the drive-through done or the pit stop done?
Nexus is not to serve the drive-through first, and then...
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference, in all honesty. It's going to put him to the back of the pack, almost.
It is indeed. So
I can hear Matt repeating a Gary catchphrase, which I can't repeat.
Well, we can see already what he's put in the chat. We have his response, and I think Matt probably knows now that this Constructors is probably now slipping out of his hands. De Silva, though, with a healthy lead of 10.6 over Big Boy Brazier, and Peaceful Explosion sitting in third. So will these two now, with a clear track, will they focus on trying to extend the gap between the guys that are in the pits? Gary's obviously got a 30-second time stop and go, while Fury has got to come out of the pits. He's now been dropped. Where is Gary? He is in the final corner, and he's coming to serve his penalty straight away. Emplava still a bit behind, so Fury will be out of the pit. Or will he? It's quite a long pit lane here.
Is it nearly as long as the pit lane we have at Spa, when we have the combined 24 hours?
Where is Emplava? He's going down towards turn 1. And Fury has only now just come off the limiter, so Fury has cleared them quite easily, but at the same time, he can't make any mistakes because Emplava is still there. Fair play to you and Fury, also Overtaker and Emplava. Yeah, Matt's clearly said that he thinks it's done. Gary, though, back into the pits to serve his stop and go. Anything can still happen at this stage of the race. Big Boy Brazier now into the pits for P2. As Peaceful carries on with the silver, also with Nexus still yet to serve his pit stop as he now comes into the final corner and carries on going. Now this is where it's going to get difficult, boys. We had some great little scrap racing going on. This is where things is going to just dwindle out a little bit. There is one thing I want to discuss, and it's incredibly stupid, and I still don't understand why F1 have done this format. The sprint race this weekend. What on earth is this format that they've got planned? I honestly don't understand. I don't know if you boys know anything about it, but I'll get some quick information about it. But this F1 sprint race...
Hang on, Ben.
Friday is practice and qualifying.
Qualifying is for
the shortened qualifying and sprint.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they call it the sprint shootout, but like they're going to have one practice session, which I think is a good idea. One short practice session, give the teams, they'll be caught right out. They won't know what to do or how to deal with the weekend ahead, which is great to see because obviously some people might get their setups wrong, they might get it bang on, and obviously weather can always intervene. But this whole sprint format makes no sense to me. Like, the sprint was good, as Peaceful does box. It just makes no sense to me. I don't understand. I know they're trying to make a more exciting weekend, but surely you want to put more...
Want it more exciting? Ban Red Bulls.
Or do what they did to Ferrari, hamper their engine, take their rear wing away.
Yeah.
You know? But I feel like F1 are trying so hard at the minute to put on a show when already the show is good. It's decent as it is. We just need Red Bull to just slow down a little bit. You know, it's a bit like De Silva in a minute. He's lapped pretty much every car on the track at the minute, but you know, it's obviously still yet to pit. But it's either the guys in the other teams have to step up and try and produce a better car, or copy the car, Mercedes.
Aston Martin.
But this format is not going to work. I think the sprint format before was fine as it was, but I think they're just trying to overcomplicate it. Maybe just do the normal sprint weekend, but limit them to what tyres they could use in qualifying. You know, stick them all on hards. Who can get the hards to work?
I think the problem with the sprint race is that drivers were reluctant sometimes to overtake in case of contact or an incident, which then will be made the sprint race in effect.
Offer more points then. I would say offer more points then. Gives them more opportunities to score more in the season.
Thing is though, it's also wear and tear on the car. They're limited to 3 engines a year. Ferrari already broke through all of theirs.
By the way, De Silva has now pitted. Also, Nexus has pitted and he is on his way out. Monkey Boy still yet to pit. And if he manages to carry on going and De Silva's still in the pit, he might lead this race, but I think it's going to be very unlikely because there's a long way to go. Gary now at the back, he is pretty much last. He will still score 9th place points, which is good for him, but Big Boy Brazier has been jumped by Peaceful Explosion in the pits. So Peaceful is in the pound seat, which they're both ahead of Fury, and Fury probably the biggest loser out of all of them. He's dropped down the order, but obviously the big loser was Gary 131. But it's pretty easy for De Silva. He's off. Yeah, Monkey Boy's not going to lead this race at all. But yeah, I still don't understand this F1 format. It's dumb.
F1's dead to me.
See how it goes the weekend. We may be coming out this time on Sunday afternoon. But we actually enjoyed it. We never know. Just, you know.
I think as well they need to pick certain circuits that benefit overtaking. I know obviously Baku with the long back straight, but that's pretty much it really. You got the then second straight, and then the rest of it is too tight, it's too twisty. For the sprint you kind of want something that's more like Brazil works every time. It is probably the best sprint race there is. Silverstone works very well for that as well, but I think there's certain circuits they just need to offer the sprint race to different tracks really than this.
One track it'll never work on.
Monaco. I think Monaco could get interesting.
The only thing that makes Monaco interesting is the weather.
Okay, I've got this. How about this? Monaco qualifying. Everyone has to start on the hards. They have to do qualifying on the hards, but they don't do a shootout. They just do, like we do here, like a 10 or an 18-minute qualifying session on the hards. Whoever puts it on pole, puts it on pole.
How do you know my tactic all the time?
Oh.
I'm not very quick.
I know what you like, Pierre. And you just want people to think that you're slow, but actually you're a very fast driver.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
I figured you out as soon as you got on track, mate. I got your game straight away. As meanwhile, Fury has managed to get the gap down to 8/10 to Big Boy Brazier, so Jamie's going to have something to think about in a minute. And Pliva's still quite a little bit behind, but he can see Fury. He needs, really now, let's be honest for Pliva, he needs to get past Fury and he needs to get past Jamie for even a chance of winning the Constructors or even going a level as Monkey Boy now into the pits.
I think had Gary not got his driver, it could be interesting. He was about 2 seconds in front of Plava when he left the pits. So,
and Fury had damage to repair. That's why he's behind these two at the minute. So, yeah, it's all kind of gone out the window since Gary sped in the pit lane. But it happens. It's racing. You just don't know what's going to happen on the day. Fury had a bad race one, didn't really go his way, nor did Gary. And then Pliva was the man in the pound seat. Now in this race, it's Fury who's looking like the man who's going to be taking the Constructors here tonight. But either way, it's as Matt like to say, it's ebbed and flowed around this night. And so far, it's going the way of FU Racing. But I think I have a list of the tracks for next season. I believe we're having some new ones. Added.
If people want to join us for next season, you will need one of the DLCs from PlayStation Store.
The Intercontinental, I believe, is what we will be needing, as we will be running the Hungaroring for starters, because we haven't had the Hungaroring for this season. We had it in F1, but now the ACC boys are going to have a go. I think there was a list. I can't seem to find the list now.
It's in the admin chat, but again, I don't have it to be able to see. So.
I've got it. So this is what the calendar sounds like, and I think it will be in this order from what I can figure out. Round 1 will be Paul Ricard. Great. The second round will be at Spa. Third, we'll be heading back to Catalonia. Fourth, we'll be heading to Zolder. Fifth will be Brands Hatch. Then we'll be heading to a Kyalami for one of the newer circuits this season, and not a track that we've run on Simplay Motorsport before, as I think it'll be the first time we ever run it, I think, ever. For the
I don't believe it's on Project Cars.
No, nor any other game. So Kyalami will be the first time. It's a South African race, an F1 race that was held many years ago. It's still struggling to get its FIA grade up so it can have another race again with Formula 1. But we will be heading to Kyalami for round 6. Round 7, we go back to Zandvoort. With round 8 will be Silverstone. Round 9 will be Laguna Seca, will be the next round of the season. And finishing things off, we will be heading to the Hungaroring. Guys, what do we think to that calendar, as Fury's now giving Jamie the flash and looking to try and find a way through, as he nearly hits the back of him there going into the right-hander. Fury, don't do that. Just, if you're going to pass him correctly, not barge him out of your way.
Laguna's going to be interesting because of the corkscrew. And those who aren't familiar with corkscrew, just watch a load of old IndyCar races. It is a phenomenal corner, because it just drops away. Particularly one year in the 90s when Zanardi just went around somebody through it before tragically lost his legs. That was extreme.
We just got a quick comment here from Peaceful Stepdad. I don't like the sprint race anyway. I would rather have the qualifying and Sunday as a normal race, regarding to the F1 comments that we were discussing.
I'm with that. I think they're splitting too much now. It's too many races. There's too many races in the year.
Do you remember the time when F1 drivers had, with the qualifying, they only had one lap and that was it? They came straight back into the pits. Whatever they did, they did. Do you remember that time? I think it was the early 2000s, I want to say. 2005,
and the tyres also had to do the race. And Bridgestone made a horrible tyre, and hence why Ferrari only won one race that year.
Oh, Fury, by the way, looking to the inside of Big Boy Brazier. He's going to get the job done, but Big Boy's going to have the advantage of better traction, but he's gone wide. And that is it. Fury is now up into P3. That is now a car between him and N Palava. And Fury is going to look like he's going to try and finish the season on the podium. But Jamie's coming back. He's not a million miles away. So Fury now is looking to try and set his eyes on a peaceful explosion. Meanwhile, De Silva is 21.6 seconds ahead of Peaceful Explosion. De Silva is just cruising right now, isn't he, boys?
Yeah, he might as well pop it in a neutral every few
He
corners.
could do another pit stop. Still make it interesting to feel if they can do another pit stop.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please don't, because Jamie might beat me if these guys drop it. But what I was going to say, obviously, we go back to this scrap between Fury and Big Boy Brazier. I think we should bring back just the one-shot qualifying. If you mess it up, that's it. You're out of qualifying. You're done. That's your lap done. I think that could be an interesting way to do qualifying. But obviously, a lot has changed since then. But I think that's what should be done. One shot, one lap. Who can produce the best lap instead of multiple attempts?
That's all I run in career mode.
That's all you'll get this week at Baku in the sprint qualifying. You'll get one run. You won't have time to get in and change the time, get back out there.
And you won't have the silliness of the. Do you remember in Monza where all the drivers wanted a tow and none of them would want to go first? We wouldn't have that silliness either. You'd have just literally just go out, get rid of the wing, and go as fast as you like. Yes, I love the one shot, says Matt. I do think, like, obviously a lot of people may think that the current qualifying format works. I think it works to a degree, but I think some people who watch my YouTube channel, me and myself, James, who does the F1, we do a stream on the F1 game, and we decided to just get rid of the one-shot qualifying. And where I've been quicker in the practice session, I then come to the qualifying and messed it up, and he's ended up winning the race because I've not been able to perform in qualifying. So it does put that added pressure, and I think the likes of Verstappen and Russell and Norris, I don't think have that. There's only Fernando who's actually experienced that format now. I think Lewis have never actually experienced it. So
it came in before Lewis made his debut in 07.
I think it'd be something that these guys, like, you have, like, some of them as well, like some of the cars need several laps so that the tyres are in the right window. It's not that. Go and do either 1 or 2 laps, bang, that's all you got, back into the pits you go.
And bring back gravel traps, absolutely, and stop going to awful circuits like Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I think we need to start seeing some more historic circuits back again, even though the new circuits are cool and all, but they're just not. It's just Miami, Las Vegas, you know. If you're going to go to an American race, do it properly. Let's go to a proper track like Long Beach. Indianapolis. You know,
Willow Springs even.
do a proper set. If we want to try and invite the American audience more, imagine the F1 cars around Sonoma. You know.
Oh, Sonoma, what a track!
Around Sonoma, Road America, even, you know, just iconic circuits. Indy cars have so many great tracks. Like St. Petersburg is the first round of the season for IndyCar, and they are some fantastic racing that you have there. Street circuit, not too complicated, easy to drive.
Long Beach.
Long Beach, I think, would be one of the best things to see. There's definitely more opportunities to overtake. But I think F1, although it's in a very good place, thanks to obviously the popularity of Netflix, and obviously I think Daniel Ricciardo and Gunther Steiner has really built that reputation for F1. I think that F1 is now in a good place because of those two, in my opinion.
Oh, they made us all look like a bunch of... I can't say it on the broadcast. Gunther Steiner.
I mean, one man who would not be smacking a door would be this man, but that's on screen. But he wouldn't be able to get through Gunther Steiner's door, but Kevin Magnussen tried to. As you can see ahead right now, we have got De Silva leading the way. He's now lapped Gary 131. Peaceful Explosions in second with Fury in third. Fourth is Big Boy Brazier. Fifth is Emplava. Sixth is Nexus. Seventh is Smoky Devil. Eighth is Gary 131. And bringing up the rear is ninth is Monkey Boy. Guys, obviously, we know that De Silva is the man of the season this season. He is our champion. Are we going to be into an agreement that De Silva was the man of the season?
Oh,
Yeah, you can't take it away from him. As I say, you've had your moments, Matt's had his, Overtaker have had his, but the majority of the what we've had this season have been from De Silva.
I
just think back to that pass around the outside of Fury at Monza into the first chicane. That was such a good braking move. Clean as anything.
He definitely has, and he's took on not just one, not just two, but he has taken on 3 pro champions. Obviously, Overtaker, our most recent champion. The pit window is now closed. Wow, that time has gone. No, really has been talking a load of rubbish. But obviously, he's beaten 3 pro champions nonetheless. Well, technically 4, including Gary 131. But he's had to deal with 3 all at once with different times of the season where he's had to try and challenge all 3 of them. He's had Matt earlier on in the season, he's had myself towards the end of the season, and he's had Overtaker pretty much for the entire season to deal with. But he has managed to come on top majority of the time, and I think he's the one with the most race wins as well. So really, De Silva has really been the man of this season, and I think, like I said earlier on, a worthy champion to beat not just 4 pro champions, but obviously to do it on a game that not a lot of us know as well.
I think it would be interesting if he runs the number 1 plate next season, because I know Matt's going to want his number back.
Well, I did remember earlier on in the season that these guys were discussing when the season started beginning and De Silva signed up. He said, "Can I run the 55?" Matt was like, "No, that's my race number," jokingly. But he said, "I'll be running the number 1 anyway because I'm the ACC champion." Blah blah blah. And he said, "Oh, no worries. When I get the 1, I'll run the number 1, and you can have the 55 back." So I think this is what's probably going to end up happening. So De Silva and Matt will probably end up swapping numbers. Technically, in my opinion, it was Overtaker who should have run the 1 because he was last year's champion. But either way, Matt, obviously the last champion on ACC, he ran the 1. But either way, the 55 is going back to Matt, and I think the 1 is going to this man.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
So he is currently leading this race. Really nothing else going on at the minute. Peaceful currently only 2.3 ahead of Fury, who's 2.8 ahead of Big Boy Brazier, who Empire has just lost all pace. Nexus, no one.
Got a back marker by the looks of it.
Yeah, Monkey.
That is Monkey Boy, and he's cleared him. Let's have a look at Monkey Boy for a little bit.
It's nice actually to see Monkey Boy here this week.
He's not been around much this season, has he? I think.
No, he's had a lot going on in the background, but nonetheless, it is nice to see Monkey Boy here running in the Ferrari. But I know for a fact that this man is very, very good in the Bentley. Obviously, a couple of seasons ago, he was giving Matt a run for his money. So it would be nice to see Monkey Boy back in his Bentley and see how he can get on in that as he goes across the curb there, nearly hits Fury at the same time.
So do I go for another challenge and get back together with Monkey Boy and get another constructive and teammate winner title?
I thought you were partnering with Kelly.
Nothing's fine to nothing.
Forever Audio Sport. Wait, make sure you tune in, guys. This mid-season break, because this could be mid-season, end-of-season break, because you can see drivers changing, cars changing. Might see new drivers, might not see drivers returning. You just don't know. But what we do know is that this season has been fantastic, and it's been enjoyable nonetheless for our first time on ACC. Like I said, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything at Simplay Motorsport. It's not over yet because we do have F1 to finish. James has pretty much wrapped up the title as well in that one, so James will possibly be your well, I say possibly, he is pretty much champion. I've seen the table. He is champion for F1. but it's all about the constructors. Williams, Aston Martin, and I believe that's it, are up for the championship for that. So make sure you tune in for that one on a Sunday night, Brazil and Abu Dhabi. But nonetheless, we will have some off-season events. I think we're planning to do the 2.4 of Spa endurance race, where the GT3s and GT4s will be back on track. And I believe we might be doing that on the PS4 here on ACC. We're looking at doing an endurance race on PS5. I think Silverstone. No, actually, sorry, it wasn't an endurance race. You just reminded me. It was my idea. We might be doing a 3-sprint night race, where we will have 3 different conditions throughout 3 different points of the night and day, and obviously we should have some rain. So 1 race will be in the wet, 1 race will be in the day, and 1 race will be at night around Silverstone, so we can have a different variety of racing going on there. But also, we might bring back our old faithful PN's favourite game on the planet. Project Cars might do a return as well, as Matt just says in the chat. We are looking at possibly the Indy 500 for a fun event, so that could be interesting to see. And also, we are looking at a THR night, which there's only one man in this chat who knows a lot about that one. A THR night would go to the way of Arjun. Arjun, briefly tell us about the THR night, because that is an interesting night.
So basically what it is basically running 6 car categories over one night. So you'll have 6 short races that you'll run: the GT5 Ginettas, you run the Renault Clios, you run the Formula Ford, or Formula, I can't remember what it is on Project Cars, but the Big Boy Rave
Formula Rookies.
On my Formula Rookies. Big Boy Rave lagging on my screen. I don't have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he is lagging quite bad as well for me.
Then you go to the GT4 Ginettas, then the GT3 Porsche, and then a touring cars to finish off the night. Normally about, a 10-minute race each.
Yeah, around British circuits as well.
No pit stops.
And all default as well, if I believe as well.
Yes, it will default.
So it's basically who's the driver of all these categories, basically a driver's driver. Obviously, like I said previously, guys, we are massive fans of British touring cars here at Simplay Motorsport. We love the British touring car and the Toka package. I believe we might be making some slight adjustments, because obviously due to the fact that the Toka package have lost the Ginettas, we might be possibly introducing the Renault Clios and obviously maybe the Caymans instead of the Ginetta GT4s. Obviously,
the Rally Cross Mini you can run.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to run that one, mate. But either way, it could be an interesting night. So there's possibly 4 fun events that are going to be happening, 2 on Project Cars and 2 on ACC. So make sure you tune in on that. But obviously, the other thing that you need to keep your eye out is head over to our Discord page, head over to SimGrid, so that you are signed up and ready for the new season here at Simplay Motorsport. Possibly an F2 championship as well on the F1 game. So if you want a bit of F2 action and enjoyed the F1s, get yourself signed up for the F2s. I think the admins and I would have to discuss that one as well. But F2 could possibly on the table as well, so keep an eye on that one. Guys, we've got an interesting load of racing going on in the future. We've got all these fun events that are happening, and I tell you what, I know PN's not a fan, but I cannot wait to get back on Project Cars. I have missed it. It has been a great friend of mine, and I would love to have a go at the THR night and possibly have a go in the Indy cars, but obviously one of them might have to be not being able to do it, because I might have to commentate one of them. But sounds like a load of fun that we could have towards the between the seasons, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just makes it a different, little bit less of a serious thing. It's more of a, like I say, a fun event rather than competitive, or if it's competitive, but drivers were able to relax a bit more in the off season, as Fury have a massive moment there.
Fury's being caught by Jamie.
Is the rear end on the Lamborghini starting to struggle now? Yeah, it's definitely so. I think the Indy 500 and possibly the 2.4 of Spa will be classed as official events. So if you win it, you will be known as the Indy 500 champion, or the 2.4 hour of Spa champion as well. So there's always that. If you go to Indy,
the Triple Crown.
Yeah, if you go to Indy, you want to win it, don't you? You want to be known as the Indy 500 champion. You want to be known as the 24 Hours of Le Mans champion. You know, it's like winning Monaco. You have to go and win it. If you don't win it, then you feel like you've not achieved what you went out to achieve.
Smokey's got in front of Nexus.
Smokey's had a quite decent race, hasn't he? He's just kept himself out of trouble. Everyone else getting penalties instead of himself. So yeah, Smokey Devil say that goes wide. He might get a penalty if he keeps doing that too many times. We will end the poll there currently. It has gone split between FU Racing and Jaeger. Why is Fury pitting?
Have you run out of fuel? I don't know if anyone.
Oh
if streams or
no!
What. Basically giving them Plava the team championship.
Not yet, because Smokey Devil is back end of the circuit. Fury's in the pits. What has he done here?
Fury is.
I think he's fueling for fuel.
Literally, that was a splash and dash. She's moving. Has Fury not put enough fuel in the car?
Did Fury do a down and not put fuel in the car?
No, that was Keeks in
Dan done it in the
I've done it in Clio's. Yeah, I've done it in Clio's.
You have done it in Clio's.
Well, this poll might have spiced up even more. M Plava is currently P4 and is ahead of Fury, who has come back out of the pits. Fury, all you had to do was put enough fuel in the car.
I think Fury might have lost his teammate for next season.
Well, I have news for you for the end of this stream anyway. But either way, Fury then. Fury, you'll see possibly Fury on the grid. You might not see me on the grid. So Embrava is now leading ahead of Fury and Gary 131. So at the minute, I think Embrava needs another car between him, really. So if I start putting in these results, Gary currently in P8. Where is Fury at the minute?
Fury's P5.
So P4.
Gap. You win it by 2 points, if I'm not mistaken.
It's all down to making Fury. He had enough fuel, and right now he looks like he's struggling.
De Silva's now 30 seconds in front of Peaceful.
Yeah, he is cruising, isn't he? He's just taking his time on his own business, and he's going to score a big hit tonight.
Go back to Project Cars 2. I could think of worse games? Racing games?
Yeah, but you're looking forward to commentating on it, let's be honest.
I don't mind the game offline. And when I've got traction control.
How many race wins do you think De Silva has had this season?
Double figures. 10.
No, actually. He's only had 8. 8 this season.
So just being consistent was brought him in it.
So the first, he has been on the podium a lot as well, though. A heck of a lot.
I think if he hasn't won, he's been second, I think.
Since the last race at Zandvoort, he has been on the podium every single time.
Nexus is back in front of Smokey.
Where is Nexus? He has got in front of Smokey, and then we've also got De Silva coming up behind them as well. So yeah, that's where's Smokey going? He needs to get out of the way of the De Silva though. So as De Silva's coming up to lap him, that's another thing that will be going, guys. Obviously, thankfully, the blue flag rule will be gone.
It'll be back to Formula 1 style. You see a blue flag, move.
It will be gone, but it will be also not gone. As Forzie's in the chat, nice to hear you in the chat, Forzie, as he's getting himself prepared and ready for F1. I don't know if he's confirmed.
He's probably doing
or not.
some Assetto Corsa stuff on the Xbox Series.
Fair enough. As I'll try and update these tables. I've got to remember how to do it now.
Peaceful's now put a lap on Larry.
On Larry?
Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, I still think Fury's got the. I think the team's championship still go away with Fury.
Right at the minute, it's going the way of 1 point to FU Racing, as it stands. But Emplava, like I said, needs a car between him and Fury, and Fury at the minute is well into the middle sector, while Nexus...
Will move out the way to let Plava through to give them...
That's a lot of space. Obviously, Big Boys wants to win.
Seconds.
That's 20 seconds you'll need to give. You need to pretty much roll.
I'm reading the wrong one. I'm reading 5 on Jamie, that's why I'm thinking it's only 5, but no, I'm reading the wrong one.
Jamie won't do that. Jamie wants all the glory.
Yeah, he definitely won't do that.
But Fury not having a definitely look like a splash and dash.
Must be indeed. Oh,
De Silva still not put a lap on Nexus,
doesn't need to, does he?
and think Nexus was our very early race leader, almost 50 minutes ago now, way back then. Oh, you see the rubber marbles building up over the exit of that corner.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's track limits again by Nexus. And there. Why is he trying to race De Silva? He's a lap down.
I mean, maybe they're just having a little scrap.
What's he doing out there? That's Peaceful. It's not been a bad night by Peaceful, has it? Yeah,
nah, it's been a decent... Yeah, definitely been a decent night for him, for sure.
Yeah, we've only had 9 cars, but... You got to be in it to win it.
As people said, you can only beat what's in front of you, as people said earlier on the season.
Yeah. And the only car in front of him is De Silva. Jamie's 4.5 seconds behind him.
We are on board with De Silva. We're coming to the end, and so we'll have a quick run through of our champions this season, as I'm just still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing on here, but I have figured it out now. I've turned my brain on. As it stands at the minute, I don't think Jamie is going to lift or give any space to Emplava, but FU Racing will take the championship for constructors. Over that will buff out Motorsport by 1 point, ahead of Jaeger Motorsport. Michael Massey currently in 4th as well. But also regarding the teams for Pro-Am and drivers, AH Motorsport are your constructors champion for Pro-Am, and driver Holty is your champion for drivers as well. But regarding the Pro, like I said, FU Racing and Lamborghini taking the championship for the teams, but it is not an FU driver winning the drivers championship. It is De Silva who is your champion here at Simplay Motorsport. He will take the crown here at Mazzano, and like I said earlier on, a very worthy champion indeed. And guys, we're coming to the end of this, and it's a sad moment usually at this point. We're all going to be a little bit bored with our Wednesday and Thursday nights now, I think.
I've got plenty to do.
I think a lot of people have plenty to do, but either way, Nexus is going to be joining me in the commentary box on Sunday night for the F1s, so that will still keep you busy for 2 rounds. But either way, we close another chapter, guys, and what a season it has been. But it has been the domination of the McLaren of De Silva, who will be the champion here tonight. And all I say is bring on next season, where things can be just as exciting.
Yeah, will he hold on to his crown? We can only wait and see.
Well, little race update. Jamie's within 3.3 seconds of Peaceful.
Yeah, we're pretty much 1 lap to go. It's De Silva going into the final corner now. He starts his final lap. And De Silva now will bring it home. Across the line he goes to start his final lap here. Peaceful nowhere near him, and Big Boy Brazier not really close enough to Peaceful to really mount an attack. So, as Matt in the chat says, well done if you're racing, and that will buff out Motorsport. And obviously a massive congratulations to Jaeger as well for a strong fight. It's been really close between those three teams all season long, so it's been great to see nonetheless. Guys, I know what I'm going to be doing in this summer break. I'm going to be heading to the beach, tanning up, getting in my bikini, my old Prolapse rainbow bikini, and just enjoying the sun and bathing in the sunshine. What about you guys? The one where I'll be... I mean, when I went to Donington, the only sun was in Cornwall. As soon as I got to Devon, Ohio, it was just rain. It was depressing.
I was going to say, what sun? It's raining currently here as well.
By the way, while this is all going on, Smoky Devil has actually caught up to Nexus again. So
I've been watching that. Smokey is looking racy.
Well,
but probably will be in Pro-Am next year.
That's the other thing I forgot to mention as well. There will be a reshuffle of
Nexus
drivers.
is locked up. Nexus is off the road. Oh, that's a bit of an iffy rejoin.
Either way, guys, out of the final corner, your McLaren driver, your champion for Pro, De Silva, wins the final race of the season. He is your Pro champion. A massive congratulations to him. He will take the crown here and will be crowned the champion at Simplay Motorsport. Peaceful was still a little bit away, but it was Nexus and Smoky Devil bring it home. Let's have a look at a donut from De Silva. He is your champion. As Peaceful Explosion now ends the night with a P2. He'll be very happy with that one. Peaceful Explosion comes home in second place. Doesn't quite catch Emplava, but he will finish in second. Big Boy Brazier will finish third, and he'll finish fourth in the championship with that result. Emplava still a bit away from the end here, as Monkey Boy, I believe, is also the last car to finish. There's already a car back in the pits. That is Nexus. But Emplava into the final corner here, as N will come to the line. And congratulations to Emplava for that one. As Fury also comes into the final sector now. But meanwhile, it is De Silva who is your Pro champion. Massive congratulations. A few donuts from the guys here. The season has ended. Not the way the season we wanted it to end, but Fury will come home and he will bring home the championship for the constructors as well. So FU Racing wins the constructors. Congratulations to those guys. As now Monkey Boy will finish things off. He crosses the line in the 9th place position, as we should hopefully get Peaceful, Big Boy Brazier, Fury, and I think if we can get Emplava and Gary in here, that would be great as well. I don't know if I need to add Gary to this or not, but where is old Gary? He's always offline and never helps. No, it doesn't. But either way, if we can get those two in the chat, that would be great. But either way, your champion for Simplay Motorsport is De Silva, and your team's champion is FU Racing. Guys, obviously a quick one. Your driver of the day. We'll start with you, Argent. Who was your driver of the day?
You can't really look past De Silva. We've had that pace advantage over everyone else all night.
Yeah.
He's crowned himself as a champion.
Definitely so. PN, what about you?
Driver of the day is Peaceful in that Ferrari.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to have to agree with you. I think Peaceful gets driver of the day. We knew that De Silva was going to disappear into the distance, but Peaceful was it was a solid drive from him and very consistent. It's not often we don't see Peaceful not doing pirouettes, so it's nice to see him not doing that.
No, he did that on lap 1.
Quickly as well, driver of the season. We're going to have to look one way and one way only, innit? Argent?
De Silva.
De Silva.
Yeah, it's De Silva for driver of the season. He's taken down 4 Pro champions, let's put it that way. He's taken down myself, Matt Tahimovic, Overtaker, and Gary 131. So that has been a heck of a drive this season. It's a shame we can't obviously get him in the comments box. I'm not sure why we can't get him in the comments box, but either way, from myself and everyone here at Simplay Motorsport, De Silva, we congratulate you on your championship, and I hope you enjoy it for the next 6 weeks, because I'm pretty sure you will be having a target on your back. But we have got the other two drivers that finished on the podium, and again the same two drivers, but this time the other way around. So Jamie, we'll start with you. You needed a race win. It didn't pay off. You're actually only 3 points behind me in the championship, but nonetheless, P3 for yourself, another solid drive. You've got to be happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that one. The car just didn't feel as nice in that one. That's probably just because I had a lot more fuel and I overfueled quite a bit. I think I had about 15 laps worth left at the end. So yeah, car in the midpoint just didn't feel very nice. I just got a bit lucky with Fury under fueling.
Obviously, Peaceful stepped out in the chat saying Peaceful driver of the day, and well done to the guys, and yes, the silver driver of the season. Yeah, we thought Fury underfueled, but either way, you did have a great scrap with Fury and obviously with Gary earlier on, and Gary obviously getting this stop and go. But either way, a quick word on this season. Obviously, we've left Project Cars, we've come to ACC. A quick word from you on just in general ACC and what you thought of it, and obviously a quick word of what you might be possibly doing later on in the next season.
Yeah, I think the ACC season's been better than Project Cars. We've been on different tracks such as Lozano, Zandvoort, and a few others. Sometimes the racing hasn't been as clean, but I think it's just been a bit more towards what GT3 racing actually is. And yeah, so we had new people come in as well, which is always good. The likes of De Silva's come in, won the championship. You've had Nexus come in, and hopefully we have a few more next season. Yeah,
definitely. So, obviously, I already asked you previously. You're not going to be telling us what's going on anyway. But Audi is gone for sure. We know that. Yes.
Yep, that is go.
Is it going on the burn pile?
It's going on the burn pile, waiting for the Ferrari in a couple of weeks' time.
Don't forget, don't forget. I can add a Lamborghini to that if you want as well. Nonetheless, Jamie, congratulations on this season. You can also add the Audi to the tent as well, just to make sure that gets burnt with it as well. But nonetheless, congratulations on P4 this season and all round great driving from yourself.
Thank you. Well done to Peaceful and well done to De Silva.
Speaking of Peaceful, hey Peaceful, we talked to you once again on the podium. We started off the night with started off race 2 with a Peaceful pirouette, which then turned into a Peaceful second place. So how was that race for you?
Yeah, it was alright. I left space for Fury and De Silva, and I knew they were there at the start, and then Fury got a bit close and we spun. But to come from the back, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. Fury under fueling was quite funny because he was in the same party as us. So as soon as we heard that, we just laughed.
Obviously, a bit of a weird way to end the season. We're only 9 cars in here. We come to the end of the season. It's been an epic season. Again, the same question to you that I gave to Jamie. What has been your opinion on this whole ACC season, and what is looking for you for the future?
I've enjoyed it, to be honest. I think the cars are easy to correct if you have a mistake, compared to Project Cars, where as soon as you get a slight snap, you've gone. There's no correction to it. So I think it's been better. I think driving standards at times. I think a few people clearly don't know how to read the rules, but that's something we can correct off season. So I just want to say a massive thanks to you guys. Commentating, especially PN for jumping in a bit last minute to bail us out from Liam. But yeah, it's been a good season.
Great. And obviously, with the Ferrari, we going on a burn pile as well?
No, I like the car. I think you can see tonight it's quite a solid car if you can set it up right. But as I said earlier, I'm going to be testing others, so it's down to how I feel with the other cars, really.
Fair enough, mate. Well, congratulations on the 2 podium finishes tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next season in possibly a brand new car, maybe with a brand new teammate, if you're even going to have a teammate. So congratulations on tonight as well.
Cheers.
As we now head over to the man who's probably jumping around in his bedroom and screaming and shouting right now, but we head over to Little Fury. Fury, we've done it. We've done the constructors. Congratulations tonight. You did very well. I nearly came over to Bath to give you a spanking for underfueling the car, but other than that, congratulations, man. I think this is your first constructors pro.
Yes, I believe so. And
It's
I
only-
don't think I would have done it without you. That's for sure.
Either way, you brought it home in the Lamborghini. Obviously, guys, not a lot of the people understand why I've not driven tonight. There's a couple of reasons why, but the main reason, obviously, we wanted a proper fight between the constructors fight between Gary and Plava and Fury came out on top. How's it feel, man?
Honestly, I don't think it's fully sunk in yet, but I just had Matt in my ear and Peaceful in my ear and Plava in my ear the entire race. Just wanted me to mess up so bad. And they wanted me to hit Jamie at one point. I was like, I can't do that. So I just kept trying to keep it clean, bring the points home, and we just brought it home.
We have indeed. It was all down to you. I put all the pressure on you as well, making you see if you can get through the pressure, and you've managed to do so. So congratulations on that one. Obviously, the rumours going around that the teams and independents will be lingering, but obviously the possibility that teams will be running different cars. Would there be a chance you'd be staying in a Lamborghini, or are you looking at possibly a new car?
I'm gonna sink the Lamborghini, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw it away.
Didn't look like it was working for you towards the end then.
Nah, it was definitely not my friend. But...
Either way, massive congratulations on winning the Constructors. You are Constructors Champion with FU Racing alongside Unorthodox. How does that sound?
We brought it back from Season 2 at Project Cars 2. That's what we like to see, though.
We did indeed. Right, either way, we're going to have to come up to the end of that. Guys, it's been an emotional season. It has been fun nonetheless, and we have come to the very end. Quick words from PN. And again, before I get back to these guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to PN Motorsport and Argent as well. All the guys in the background, from Mata Himovic to Mike, Peaceful Explosion, to... a couple of other guys, Argent, to myself, obviously, to the guys who do the stream and everything. It's been an awesome season. It's been an emotional season. We've still got 2 races to go with F1, and like I said, a massive thank you to all the stewards and all the team that makes this happen, because if it wasn't for those guys, we wouldn't be able to give you the racing and the streams that we give you here tonight. And regarding that, if you want to be a part of the team, there is now a job application on Discord to be a steward, to be a general hand on help around here for artworks, so possibly doing some commentating with myself, Matt, PN, or whoever is available to do so. We do need more people to help out so that we can make this the best league that we possibly can. So please have a look at the job application. If you can help in any way you can, then please fill that out and do so. But again, a massive thank you to all of them. And a massive thank you to our sponsors as well. Thank you to Sea Leech Designs. Thank you to Audio Sport and also Design Manchester. All their links are down in the bio. So please go and have a look at their websites. Go and look at all their stuff. Go and look at whatever they produce as well, because they do produce some great stuff. And they, again, help support this league. So give them a like and follow. And do all those lovely things. Do like and subscribe to this channel as well. But let's do a quick roundup. PN and Argent, we've come to the end of the season. It is De Silva who's champion, and it's FU Racing who are constructors. What a season we have, and honestly, I cannot wait for the next season to begin.
I can't.
One of them things. It's sad to see this season end, but as I say, it brings back more competition for next season, especially with all the new drivers we've got coming on board.
For sure, and I think with all the chaos and excitement that's been going on this season, it has definitely been a great one. that is pretty much a wrap here at Simplay Motorsport. Like I said, there are still 2 rounds left of Formula 1. James is pretty much champion in that one as well. But still, come and give us a watch as well. There's Constructors still up for that one as well, and also the final places for that one as well. But ACC will return with a couple off-season events as well, so tune in and make sure you keep an eye on that on Discord to make sure that they are popping up and you can get involved. And also, make sure that you head over to Discord so you get yourself signed up for the new season. We've got a roughly about 5 to 6 week break, and we will be back on the grid once again for the first round of the season at Paul Ricard. Who is going to take on De Silva? Is it going to be one of the 3 of us, of Overtaker, myself, or Matahimovic? I'll tell you now, one of them won't be doing it, as I won't be racing next season. I'll be pulling out. But either way, what can people do? Can they catch him? Can they beat him? Either way, I've been Dan Davis, PM Motorsport, and Arjun, all in the chat. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you Sunday night with my good friend Nexus joining us in the commentary box. But from all of us here at Simplay, it's good night.
Good night.
And we are clear.